It is 6 o'clock. Good morning, live from Nashville Golf and Athletic Club for the 104.5 The Zone Golf Classic. I'm Justin Hawkins. The drought is over. The New York Knicks are NBA champions for the first time since 1973 after beating the Spurs in Game 5 Saturday night, 94-90. Point guard Jalen Brunson set a Knicks NBA Finals record by scoring 45 points, including 13 straight in the fourth quarter. Jalen Brunson is the Finals MVP, averaging 32 points per game. The drought is also over for the Carolina Hurricanes as they are Stanley Cup champions for the first time since 2006. They shut out the Golden Knights 3-0 on Sunday night. Brandon Boosie recorded his first career playoff shutout, stopping 22 shots. Captain Jordan Stahl for the Hurricanes took home the Conn Smythe Trophy for playoff MVP. He becomes the oldest player in NHL Stanley Cup history to win it at age 37. He tallied 12 points in 18 games. And in the World Cup, the U.S. handily beat Paraguay on Friday 4-1 in the World Cup. Next up is Australia on Friday after they beat Turkey 2-0 on Saturday. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Ramon and Will on 104.5 The Zone, coming to you live from the 104.5 The Zone 2026 Golf Classic presented by Ferguson. It is a beautiful, beautiful morning here in Brentwood, Tennessee. I hope you guys are getting ready for a solid work week.
Party foul.
We are off the rails early. No, this is not Will Bowling. Stoney Keeley filling in for Will this morning. Congratulations to the newlyweds as well. I hope they are enjoying their week. But we've got a lot to talk about this morning, gentlemen. Like I said, Stoney Keeley here in for Will Bowling, joined by Ramon Foster, the man himself, and we've got Justin Hawkins. I was going to say in the booth on the boards, but you're sitting right next to us today. So
yeah,
hey.
what's up? Let's have a Monday.
Not much, man. Stoney, what's going on? Kirby's going to kill
we need to
me
give
this
a demerit real quick, though.
Yeah, we do.
Just spilt his coffee all over the table.
Yes, I did. Ramonier did, because Ramon wouldn't act like that since we're calling turkey, eh?
No, we got Ramonier here. Stoney is here.
And Justin E.
Justin E.
Justin E. Wow.
Justin E. this morning, man. Stoney, welcome into the show, man.
I'm happy to be here, man. It's gonna be hard to focus this morning because it is such a beautiful, tranquil scene here at Nashville Golf and Athletic Club. We got the Ducks out going for their morning stroll. We just had Justin and I had a chipmunk run by the porch here a second ago. Yeah, so we've seen all kinds of wildlife, people walking their dogs. The sun is gently climbing over the horizon and casting the a million starlights across the dew on the golf course. Y'all didn't know you had a poet in the scene this morning, did
you see me shut up and just let Stoney go? Go ahead and narrate this, Stone.
It is a beautiful morning out here. Happy to be here with you guys. We've got a lot to talk about.
We do.
Listen, we have the New York Knicks winning the NBA championship over the weekend. The Carolina Hurricanes clinched the Stanley Cup after I went to bed last night because we'll talk about my day later. But I got my steps in yesterday. I was tired. I was a tired boy. And then, hey, let's not sleep on the fact. Congratulations to the Louisville Kings for winning the United Bowl.
I saw
over
that,
the weekend. The UFL season comes to a close. We've got some World Cup action to talk about. Loaded show for you guys today. So thank you all for joining us. How was the weekend, Ramon?
Man, it was solid, man. Again, welcome into the show, man. It's always fun doing the show with you. This is our second time with you in the lead chair doing this thing.
I don't know what they're thinking. They keep asking me back.
You know how they say you become successful? Just got to keep tricking folks, man.
That's just I tell people all the time. I just keep showing up.
Just keep showing up, yeah, man. But the weekend was solid. Went to the Bowling's wedding, 2026 out here. It was beautiful. Saturday. Rain stayed away for the entire ceremony. I think it rained a little bit when we went inside for the reception. It was beautiful, man. Will and Peyton, beautiful couple. The ceremony was real nice. It's exactly what you thought it was going to be. I had side bets with folks as I was slapping mosquitoes out here, man. Wow.
See, that's the good thing about.
You see them hands?
Yeah, man.
You see
Still
those?
got it.
Still got it. Yeah.
Still got it. But we had side bets going on during the wedding though as well.
You had a little action on the wedding.
We did.
How about that?
Me and Bert and me and a couple of his friends and his groom's party too. It's like, when is he gonna cry? When is he gonna cry? And he let freedom ring. You hear me when he saw her walking down the aisle. He let freedom ring, man. Curb, I'm talking about it was like the Mississippi doing a torrential downpour. It was coming down so good, man. Curb said embarrassing. But I know, having talked to Will, this is something he's looked forward to. I think any man that finds a great companion is looking for that as well. And I remember the day he saw Peyton at Toy Field a few years back, 3 years back now, and I knew then. I was just like, yep, that's the one.
You're seeing this unfold in real time.
I did, man, and just the whole they've had a lot of things that have happened for both of them, and some good and bad over the years, and to kind of see that matrimony come together the way it did right now, I think is super cool, man. When you see two people that are looking for the same thing, I guess the way teams look for rings out here. You feel what I'm saying?
I hear you, man. All right.
Speaking of rings, the Seattle Seahawks championship ring.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been envious of those type of situations right there because I'm like, the rings are getting bigger and bigger by the year.
What do you think they're going to look like in like 15, 20 years?
They got to go with the 2 fingers. They got to go with like the 1980s, like 2 or 4 fingers at some point.
Eventually, it's going to become a watch.
No, I wouldn't. The losers get watch.
Losers get.
Ask me how I know.
Oh. Okay.
Losers get watches, man.
Bring that one up
and
for you.
I never even put that thing on. It's still in my dresser at home. I want nothing to do with it. Like, if I could throw it away, I would. But it's a nice, like, Omega watch or whatever it is. And I'm like, why would I wear this thing around? Because we didn't win. You shouldn't be able to wear anything. I don't think I wore any Super Bowl gear or anything behind it. It is. God brought the mood down a little bit, didn't it?
I would imagine. Well, I was about to tell this story about how I cried at my wedding.
Yeah, so go ahead.
I think we're good. The thing about the watch is it's a conversation piece too, right?
It can be, yeah.
Like, people are going to ask you about it, and then you have to relive the story. You have to share the story about how you got it. So.
You do, man, and that's the part of it right there. Being on the losing side of such a big game, it was just like, I'd much rather just tuck this away. It came in a nice wooden mahogany box too. It was
mahogany.
The presentation was awesome. I'm not sure if the diamonds in it are real. The super small ones, they don't matter anyway when you try to go turn them in.
The real ones are for the winners, right?
See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
I thought he was about to swing on me.
You see what I'm saying? It's only like the jokes just fly because nobody's trying to be in second place when it comes down to the Super Bowl. I saw the confetti coming down and all of that. I was just I pulled another championship game. I pulled what everybody's saying about the Spurs. I said immediately, we'll be back. And I never went back.
Yeah, that's an interesting talking point on that series. We'll get into that. Justin, what's your championship ring collection looking like?
Do you have
just a wedding ring?
There it is.
No, that's. I got the.
And I'm
the
not
little,
even wearing the real wedding ring.
I was about to say I got the rubber.
Yeah.
I got the rubber ones.
Mine's at home.
I do too. That's
Nice
the
and
one I
protected.
use. I got the real ones as well, but like the rubber ones come so easy, man, to wear and work out in, and you just forget about them after a while, though, too.
Yeah. So.
But it was awesome, though, man. I got to double check with Will whenever he gets back as well, because the wedding party, I think, was going downtown to Barstool. I can say after the fact now because they posted while being there. They were going to a party like most wedding parties do because you don't want to be showing your behind in front of the old folks that come and watch you get married.
Yeah, that's
you know
right.
what I'm saying?
That's right.
We go outside, and I got video of this, and I think I see a bus that's waiting for the bowling wedding party. We walk outside, and they're still inside party. They're not leaving probably for like another 45 minutes, but I dipped out early because, I'm 40 these days, okay, and I want to get home. We walk outside. Kirby like, whatever. Kirby's like,
just shaking his head.
He's shaking my head at the drop of 40, like, you youngin'. Yeah. But I walk outside, and you know how you see something you don't believe you're seeing?
Yeah.
We go out the doors, and I said, no way, absolutely no way this is real. It's the charter bus out front. The charter bus is, wrapped in Vanderbilt Commodore Sports.
Oh, no.
And I'm thinking to myself, there's no way. There is absolutely no way Will Bowling booked a Vanderbilt Commodore's charter bus. Absolutely no way. Not on this day. And nobody can't be playing a prank. And I think the bus was actually for them. Can you imagine how livid Will was in that moment? Like, if you know Will, you know he was probably livid as heck. And I just couldn't believe it. Whoever it was, whether it was a great execution of a prank or the fact that they didn't know who they were actually chartering the bus for, man. But it was a funny moment to me. I will say that, though. It wasn't my wedding, so I laughed.
Hey, there you go. That's what you can do at other people's weddings.
It really is.
You can laugh, yeah. So we've got a great show for you planned out here at Nashville Golf and Athletic Club. Are you guys golfers? Do you guys swing a club every once in a while?
At Top Golf.
Yeah,
I haven't in a year. I do love the golf.
I haven't in 21 years.
Are you serious?
Serious,
21
yeah.
years.
I'll tell you guys about it. The last time I swung a golf club was it was around Daytona. We went down there, a couple of buddies of mine and I went down there, and we went to a driving range, and they said, Stoney, we're going to teach you how to play golf so that we can go play 18. And so I get out to the driving range, and, they're kind of teaching you, oh, well, this is what you need to do. This is the motion. Here's how you do it. Yeah. And, I mean, you guys are sitting right next to me. I'm as wide as I am tall. I got short arms. Definitely would have kicked me inside the guard at the NFL. And so I'm out there like a T-Rex, just like swivel. Yeah. I'm
like
on a
Chris
pivot.
Farley.
And I'm trying so hard.
That kind of little
I'm trying so hard to get the motion down, and I'm hitting balls, and they're just going like 10 feet in front of me.
Yes.
And so I feel like, okay, I finally got the motion down, and the first swing, I put everything I have into it. I hit that ball so hard, it goes clean across the pond we were driving in front of, and I just hear the smack of that golf ball hitting someone's house. The siding, just the echo is just like a gunshot goes off.
Yeah.
I turned around to my friends and one of my friends' father who was teaching me, and I just politely set the club down. I said, this ain't for me. This ain't for me. Because what's the fun in doing things you ain't good at?
You knew.
So, and they told me, it's okay, just stick with it. And I knew right away. I knew as soon as I heard that gunshot go off of that golf ball hitting the side of that guy's house, I knew this wasn't for me. So they went and they played the 18, and they kept trying to get me to join them. And I said, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not good at it. I rode on the back of that golf cart, for all 18 holes.
Salute you, man.
And that was the last time I played golf. Now, you want to talk putt-putt, that's a different sport.
Different game right
different
there.
Game. I'll play the heck out of some putt-putt, but no, I'm just here to enjoy the show today.
The moment you flush a 100-yard chip shot onto the green next to the hole, your game changes forever.
Is that right?
How do you get to that
it's
point?
The one little. It's just the one little lucky moment that sucks you back in. For all the negativity, you have that one positive moment that I can do this, and then you hit a house again. But it's okay. Get back to that 100-yard chip shot.
See, my thing is, like, when I go to Top Golf, like, I love a good Top Golf session. Hear me?
Yeah.
Like, I'm terrible with the driver. Like, I cannot connect with it, and it's probably because I'm trying to kill it, okay? What I would say is this. When I do hit the driver flush, I hit it just as far as I do with with an iron, is what I'm telling you. Like, I'm better with the irons than I am with a driver off the tee. Like, it not even close to it whatsoever. And I'm just like, well, I could do this, but I'd probably be on a par 5 taking like 8 shots. You know what I'm saying? Like, on a par 3, I'm taking like legitimately like 6 shots just on a par 3 is the way I'm looking at these situations, because I'm better and under more control with the irons, for whatever reason. Maybe because I'm not fitted for clubs, too. I haven't been fitted for clubs. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I can go get fitted for clubs, but, like, they're expensive from what I heard.
They are expensive.
I said, from what I heard. From what I hear, okay? Hey, from what I hear, getting fitted for clubs are very expensive. Now, I don't know what very expensive is from what people tell me they pay for them versus what I would have to pay for them, but I'm thinking to myself, if I go get a pair of clubs and I only use them twice a year, then that's a problem. That's a waste right there.
You can get a driver without being fitted for $800.
For what?
Just a driver. One club, $800.
Is it going to make sure I go like 300 yards per hit, though, too?
Well, it's not going to hit it for you, but
come on, Hawk. See,
it can help you eliminate your fade, eliminate your draw. It can depends on what types of weight they have in there. They can help you, but at the end of the day, it's user error.
I didn't know we were sitting with an expert.
The Hawks got a lot of
you
hidden
go
talents.
ask my friend who will beat me by 20 strokes because I have a hard time breaking 90. But
a hard time breaking 90.
I'm like,
tell me we have a hard time breaking 115, Stone.
I hit an 88 one time,
tee.
and I thought I was going to be a golfer.
Legitimately scramble is all I want to do. Like, and what's crazy is my now analyst or play-by-play Taylor Zarzer. This is what he does on the side. He calls golf tournaments. He asked me at Will's wedding, when can I get you out on the golf course? And I had to hit him with the same old one of those lying. Like, man, I'm gonna try to if I can. Like, I will if somebody's gonna take their time with me. Is what I'm telling you.
I don't even hide it. My father-in-law is a big golfer, and he asked me to play all the time. And my wife is like, you need to go golfing with that man. Like, this is your father-in-law asking you to go out golfing.
Bonding time.
And I tell him to his face, no, we can go. We'll go watch the game somewhere.
Yeah,
but I'm not getting on that golf course.
No, absolutely.
I'm not good at it. I ain't gonna do it. Even at Topgolf, I do the same thing. Like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I smack the ball every once in a while. It'll go, but for the most part, it's like hitting 10 yards in front of me and just dying right there.
Man, listen, I respect you for holding your stance. There's two things I say I have to get down. One is golf. I will attempt at some point, Stoney. Maybe you can join me in this quest.
All right, we should film it. This would be good content.
It would be good content. I'll do that. And the other one is I'm going back to swimming lessons at some point.
Oh, okay.
I copped out.
Yeah.
I felt like the lady was trying to intentionally drown me that day. She wasn't. It's just that it was the next phase of my swimming lessons. And I got scared as hell, man. I dropped down to the 12 feet voluntarily and came back up. So, like, I was comfortable enough.
At least you float.
But what it was, though, was the floating part. She gave me the Red Cross, the lifeguard noodle, the long one. And when I held onto it and she moved away, I panicked. I rolled backwards, and I felt like I was about to die, is all I'm saying, man. So I am good with my hands. You hear me? I just smacked another mosquito out here.
Listen, we get some disc golf going one day. I'm an ace at that. A little frisbee doesn't cost but $8. The courses are free. You just got to find one.
Yeah, see, you got irons and putters and drivers with that one too, and I don't understand that.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that's a different show for a different day. We are due for a break. We'll get us out of here. We are out here at the 104.5 The Zone Golf Classic presented by Ferguson at Nashville Golf and Athletic Club. More Ramon and Will when we get back.
What's going on? It's Will Bowling from my friends at Fleet Feet Nashville. I love talking about Fleet Feet because I have been a Fleet Feet customer since I was in high school. As a former college distance runner, I understood the value of not only getting the best technology and the best shoes I could get to keep me healthy and get me back on the roads feeling good, but also the right fit. And at Fleet Feet Nashville, they go the extra mile to make sure that you get put in the right shoes. They take you through this really impressive, detailed process. You're going to get your foot measured. You're going to have all of the details in your email. Not only are they going to put you in a couple of shoe options to try out while you're there, you're also going to get to try the different inserts and the different things that can help make that shoe the perfect fit for you. So whether you're like me and you are looking to compete at the highest level, or you're just looking to get out on the roads and don't know where to start, head online to fleetfeetnashville.com. Conveniently located all around Middle Tennessee. Head online and get fit today at fleetfeetnashville.com.
Ramon and Will back on 104.5 The Zone. We are live at the Nashville Golf and Athletic Club out in beautiful Brentwood, Tennessee for the 104.5 The Zone 2026 Golf Classic presented by Ferguson. And you guys know it takes a team to pull off an event as magnificent as this one, so we do have to give special thanks to Boswell Golf Carts, Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer, and RTM Roofing. Stoney Keeley in for Will Bowling this morning. We've got Ramon Foster here. We've got Justin Hawkins here. Let's talk a little bit about the new NBA champions this morning, guys. Listen, I married a Jersey girl.
All right.
I got people in New York. I got people along the Jersey Shore. They were lighting off fireworks. I saw the videos on Twitter this weekend. Shoot, they were lighting off fireworks in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. After
I saw you tweet that, man.
Saturday night.
I thought you were summoning the police. Is what I thought you were doing.
I hope it was fireworks for the Knicks winning, or else I was at the window in a situation I shouldn't have been at the window in. If you catch my drift, something was going on. Something was going on in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. I got people in Staten Island, and I know they've waited a long time for this moment, so I just want to say from Nashville to New York City, congratulations, Knicks fans. Your New York Knicks are NBA champions. Fantastic series. To me, you look at something that goes 5 games, right? A team wins 4-1, and if you're just glancing on the surface, it might not seem like, oh, that was a very competitive series, but game by game, I can't recall a time that I saw a team come back and snatch victory from the jaws of defeat as often as the New York Knicks did in this series. Now, I will say my wife told me not to come on the air and tell all of Nashville that she canceled our cable 2 days before Game 5.
Oh, come on, Mama.
But we went to a local establishment and watched it, and
probably better. I
missed the end of the game because they kept pulling away. The Spurs kept pulling away, and I kept saying, oh, well, the Knicks, they can't keep doing this. They can't keep doing this.
Yeah.
It's all right, baby. Let's go home and watch Maternal Instinct on Netflix. We don't have to sit here at the bar, which that's a crazy documentary, by the way, if you guys haven't seen anything about it.
Yeah.
It is nuts. But I'm like, we'll go home and watch Netflix. And then I'm checking the box score, and sure enough, they come back and clinch it. And they are the NBA champions. But ultimately, Ramon, I want to ask you, how do you think history will remember this series? Is it going to be the clutch Knicks, or is it going to be the Spurs giving it away?
Man, I think it's truly both sides of this. And I hate to play that game, but it's truly both sides of it, though. Yeah. The Knicks absolutely walked them down. They absolutely did. Every single game. And even the game that the Spurs won, Stoney, it was a 3 to 5 point win?
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like they convincingly beat the Knicks. Like, they just so happened to beat the Knicks in the end is what it was in that Game 4 setup, man. And when you saw the way the Knicks were able to just climb back each and every game, whether it was coaching malpractice, whether it was just a grit and grind of what the New York Knicks are as a squad. This team, Mike Brown being the head coach, has been here before numerous times. He's won a championship with the Spurs. He ended up with the Lakers. Like, he's been around greats. He's seen this version of himself. He's been coach of the year, if I'm not mistaken, not once but twice. Mike Brown knows what he's doing, and you're in a situation right now where the Spurs have a young coach that doesn't know how to manage this, never been in this spot before. Now, he come from a storied organization with the San Antonio Spurs, but I do think, and I'm seeing it more and more in my retirement, like, there is a scenario in which experience in playoffs, it matters. Like, we say this all the time in sports, like, oh, but they got experience. I think when we look at the college world, Stoney and Hawk, like, we look at coaches now going for more experienced players, and there's a reason why. You're conditioned for it. You've been through a lot, and you understand how to control your emotions. I personally didn't think that the Spurs knew how to handle their emotions, just looking at that side of it in general. But Jalen Brunson, man, the finals MVP, absolutely electric in everything that he was doing. Like, when you watch some people play the game, play the sport, and they're great at it, like, I always thought, like, there aren't many that can touch Peyton. Peyton Manning when he was out there. Like, you knew that he knew every crevice and every angle possible when it boils down to how he spun the football and where he wanted to go with it. Brady's another one that was like that. There's just certain players that are strategic in how they attack you and attack your team. Coaches get that all the time, right? Like, hey, this guy is just good at what he does. Like, people look at Sean McVay that way in today's era. Of course, Bill Belichick's a part of that conversation as well. But this right here tell you, when you ask the question, which one was it? Was it the Spurs lost it, or did the Knicks come back and beat them? Like this stat line right here from ESPN Analytics. I feel like Will's not here, so I'm going to do the analytical thing for a little bit.
There we go.
In the 4 games the Spurs lost, they had this, a 91.6% chance of winning game 1 when they were up by 13 points in the third quarter. Fail. Crumble. In game 2, they had a 72.8% chance of winning game 2, up 2 points with 1 minute left in the fourth. Lost that one at home.
Insane.
That's
insane.
2 back-to-back losses. Like, you do all that you can, knock off the world champions, in which Oklahoma City was at the time. The league MVP and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander was a part of this as well, and you lost 2 games at home. That probably should have been our tale right there, okay? But, of course, I'm a fool, so I want to believe that Wemby's going to do the thing. Well, they go on, and they have a 90 – what was it? In Game 3, they did win. They won in the Garden. Game 4, this is where it becomes, like, very treacherous. And either when the Spurs say we'll be back here again, or that was on us, like, this is where it comes into account, because going into Game 4, like, these type of scenarios will break you. Or you get in these moments again and you find yourself not being able to get over the top the way Jordan was with the Pistons back in the day. It's just you couldn't beat them. I feel like it was Peyton Manning that couldn't, get over the hump against some of the teams that he was playing with in his younger years as well. But the Spurs, they had a 99.6% chance of winning game 4. They were up by 20 points with 9 minutes and 33 seconds left in the fourth.
That's crazy.
And lost.
Yeah.
And lost. Okay. And then, of course, in game 5, they had a 95.4% chance of winning game 5, up by 10 points with 7 minutes and 54 seconds left in the fourth quarter. If you didn't cash out your bets, if you're the betting type, when they were up by these points, then I feel sorry for you, because I believe too.
Yeah.
I was a fool, and I do think Wemby's going to be good. I do think the West is his. I do think the Spurs got a lot of good players, from Castle to just Dylan Harper to Wemby. I do think their coach is really good as well. And the organization should get better. But having been in a Super Bowl, having played in big-time matchups, it's hard to say that I'll be back and actually do it.
So thinking about the athlete's psyche here, if you're San Antonio in this situation, how do you keep this moment positive? How do you keep this from crumbling your confidence and understanding that this is a young and inexperienced team and you have to get better from it? So how do you get better from it and not allow the crippling nature of this loss to fester?
I think when you look at their situation, it's unique because they have one of already the best players in the world, and he's only 22 years old, and that's Victor Wembanyama. I think it starts with him off the court. He's got to add some more mass. Like, from when he came in as a rookie, you can see his arms. He's got, like, long pencil arms, but they got a little muscle definition in it. If he can go add more pounds, I don't know what that is. I don't know what it's supposed to look like for a guy that's 7'4", 7'5", but I'll start there because I think that his ability to get beat up each and every game is going to be just a part of his matchup and his career moving forward. The more mass he can add, the way Shaq was, the way you look at guys like Yao Ming and other bigs that are around the league, you kind of need that, because when he plays bully ball, it gets kind of pointed out a little bit more than almost anybody else because he stands out so much. He's got to get his lower body together. He's got to get his durability up, which he played an entire season this year. But I think it starts there. And also being real with yourself. Like, why did you fumble? I think when you look at Game 4 situation that they had when they was up by 20-plus points going into the fourth, it was the game plan. I think that's coaching. It's there. And then the other part, too, is facing it head on. Admit that you guys were terrible in the finals. That burning itch to get back will always be there because you've experienced it so far. But admitting it, and then, of course, the offseason to handle itself, too. I'm not sure what they need as a team. Ron, my brother, Savage, said that they need a bully. Like, they need a Dennis Rodman type. They need a Draymond type so that Wemby doesn't have to be the bad guy all the time, because I don't know if they have a true bad guy on their team other than guys who play very serious roles for them, like Vassell and also Stephon Castle, too. Like, those guys play very important minutes for them. So it's kind of hard to want them to be your bullies. They need one of those types.
And you also just need some more help down low, because when you have Wemby going out of the game and you have Luke Cornett coming in,
shout out to Vanderbilt,
and he's just not the guy, right?
Yeah.
You need some more help down low, and the way that they're being strategic in managing Wemby's minutes, I feel like we're not kind of the best, because late in the fourth quarter situations, Wembanyama's not on the floor.
Right.
You have Jalen Brunson on the floor. He's going to town. He's scoring bucket after bucket. Wembanyama's not on the court.
That's true.
And they know that, and they're utilizing that. Or they'll push up Wembanyama out to the perimeter, and they know that. They'll utilize that. They'll get low to the paint, and they get these easy buckets. I don't know if you guys knew this, but the Spurs had double-digit leads in every game.
Yeah.
You can find some peace in that, knowing that you're right there, that this series, instead of losing 4-1, you could have won 4-1. You got to find these late-game scenarios where you lock in defensively.
Yeah, I agree with you, too. It was both sides, like, legitimately. The Spurs dropped the ball, and the Knicks found ways to just, like, momentum was real with the Knicks. When you saw Jalen Brunson driving to the hole and throwing his shoulder in the guys and finishing at the rim, there wasn't much else that was left for them to do in those moments, man, because he wasn't going to be pushed away at all when it comes down to how he played that game and wanted to win. 4-1, like you said, but still very entertaining series.
I think the Knicks do deserve a little more credit. I don't think the story should be that the Spurs just gave this one away, because someone has to take it in order for it to be given away.
They did.
And the Knicks did a good job of taking this series when the opportunity presented itself. I was driving in this morning listening to Fox Sports Radio on our station, and Brady Quinn, I thought, made an excellent point about the style the Knicks were playing. It was like they knew that there wasn't a bully presence for the Spurs.
It wasn't.
And the Spurs kind of, I don't know how to frame it. It's like they were overeager. They tried to prove they could be physical. They pressed. They pushed quite a bit.
They pushed.
And it was like the Knicks let them. Mm-hmm. It was, he called it rope-a-dope, the boxing term. It was a little rope-a-dope. Mm-hmm. So they let the Spurs kind of exert themselves. And then in those moments when Wemby wasn't on the court, it was like they pushed back, and they had you said momentum. That's a great word for it. It felt like they had a cadence to their game throughout this series that said, hey, we know we're tougher than y'all. We know we can be more physical than y'all. So y'all go on ahead and give us your best shot. Yep. We're just going to take it. And they just ate it on the chin. And it came back when the moment counted, in the big moment. And we see that they are planning a parade in New York City for it.
It reminds me of watching two philosophies as football. You got a team that likes the West Coast stuff, and they just throw the ball side to sideline, to sideline. And then you have a team that's got big offensive linemen that come out and say, we're going to rock this ball up and down the court. I mean, up and down the field, down your throat. Like, that's the way I look at it. It's like a run game versus passing game. In New York, to your point, Stoney, they had a massive run game. And when they got rolling with this big old back in the backfield, there's nothing you do. It's just like Derrick Henry 2,000-yard season. That's exactly what it was, and you described it perfectly right there, man.
You wear down, and in that fourth quarter, that's when the Knicks kind of came to life a little bit, and the Spurs, it was like they were out of energy. They'd used all their energy. So really astute point there, astute observation there from Brady Quinn. Props to him for pointing that out. But
and it was, I was going to say, I saw in our YouTube chat, somebody says Wemby needs a real coach. I think Mitch Johnson's a good coach. I think he needs a good defensive strategist.
How much we talk about inexperience from the player's perspective, but how important is this experience for a coaching perspective?
We're looking at a coach in Mike Brown that's gone through the most insane pathway to becoming a head coach of one of the biggest basketball meccas in all of the world, to being world champions. Like, and this guy was a failure. He got fired numerous times, been around great coaches, been around great players, and like he can legitimately say he orchestrated this team to not only win the mid-season championship, but also win the NBA Finals championship. Like, that shows you what it means. And, like, we're so quick to fire and hire people in today's society, though, too, that you kind of say to yourself, well, Knicks just go find a new one. No. This guy clearly has Wemby's ear. This guy understands what it means to be a Spur. He came under Greg Popovich. Like, his adjustment needs to be, what is his defensive coordinator? And I realized that this year, too. Basketball have defensive coordinators, too.
I didn't know that.
Did you
I did not know that, no.
Yes, they do. But, yeah, it's something to be said about having experience on the job like this. Like, I don't know if I look at this a Mark Jackson, Steve Kerr situation to where Mark Jackson got those guys there and Steve Kerr came in and cleaned it up with a little bit of defense. I don't know. But I don't see Mitch Johnson leaving this year is what I would say.
So I've seen some people that have been kind of critical of Wembanyama's response to losing this series, the press conference.
I didn't even see it.
It hasn't been, it's iffy, kind of acknowledging like, well, we didn't play our best kind of situation. Not necessarily. Some people are reading into it, suggesting, alluding to he's being a bit of a poor sport, not acknowledging that the Knicks have, earned this victory.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I listened to the press conference. It sounded to me like a guy that had just lost the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
And he's a younger guy. Like, I'm not going to beat him up over that too much. It feels like, to your point, he's 22 years old. There is a sort of maturation process with these superstars. So I'm not going to beat him up about that too much.
Yeah, I know. We want everybody to be perfect and grateful and thankful in those moments. And the reality of it is some people just don't care about the other team winning. And here, let me say this, too, because I am a Wemby fan. So let me just say that. If I'm off base by saying when I lose, like, screw those dudes, like, that's the way I feel. Like, legitimately, I can understand it like, hey, lose with grace. I thought he did. He didn't walk off the court or storm off the court. It's just you're looking for me to just glaze the other team when I just lost 4-1. Like, I shouldn't say glaze, but, like, you want me to just hype them up? No, like, I get it. I've been a firm believer we need a little bit more hate in sports to keep it going.
I'm with you, man.
The banana boat era that they had with LeBron and Melo and Chris Paul, and I think we're beyond that. And because of that, I think we're getting a better NBA. You watch it. Like, the ratings show. Like, they had 20 million viewers or more, whatever. Like, they grew by over 100% in viewership because of this style of play. And I know New York's market played a part in it too, but screw friends when we're competing.
That's what I'm saying, man. I'm with you. We're in a different mindset if we're out there in a competitive environment. Well, coming up, we're going to talk more Knicks. We are going to talk World Cup. But
Kroll got some nuggets after the break for us, so I heard him jump in there for a second.
Kroll's got some nuggets for us after the break. How about that? This is Ramon and Will live from the 104.5 The Zone Golf Classic presented by Ferguson at Nashville Golf and Athletic Club. We will be back with more Ramon and Will.
It's Ramon Foster, and I'm with Aaron from United Structure Systems. Man, they came by today to check out my house. If there's anything, any issues, small or big, you're gonna fill us in then.
We can take care of it no matter what kind of problems. So first off, we'll just kind of take a look through your house and see what kind of issues you got going. You know, cracks in the brick, cracks in the drywall, weird spots in the floor, doors sticking, windows not opening properly. Once we identify those areas, we're going to do a thorough inspection around the outside, make sure there's no issues going on with that. And then once we look over it, we'll talk about what's going on, and hopefully we ain't got no issues, and then we'll go from there.
Let's go. Let's go.
Ms. Foster, so we have looked at the issues that you brought up. We had the drywall in the attic up here above your bonus or your garage. You had some doors sticking.
I did.
Going in your bathroom. So we've inspected all that. We don't see any major structural concerns. So you're going to be one of our lucky good news customers today. There is some minor deflection there. That's not an uncommon thing. As any house is built, it's its biggest and its strongest the day that it's born. Gotcha. Right? And from that point, it just gets older, just like us. We ain't hopping up out of bed, taking off down the hallway, running upstairs. And
not protecting quarterbacks anymore.
No.
Opening up late. We're done.
Your guard ain't there no more.
Okay,
so,
I got you.
So it just happens. It gets a little older and it starts to deflect. Now, there are some things we can do to kind of help adjust those doors, mainly adjusting in the door, which we don't necessarily do, and maybe doing some light shimming in the crawl space down there to address those sticking doors. But for now, no major issues there. We did talk about the grading in the back and some issues that we can take care of back there for you. But that's pretty much up in a nutshell. No big issues and you're good to go. So.
Awesome. So again, what you deal with United Structural Systems is it's upfront, it's honest, and now I can sleep peacefully at night, okay?
The guaranteed offer is the simplest, least stressful way to sell your home. You go to our website, you fill out a quick form, we set an appointment, we bring you an all-cash offer. Literally, there's no lockbox on the front of your house, there's no showings, we pay all cash, we close in as little as 21 days, stress-free. We've helped thousands of homeowners just like you sell your home the hassle-free way with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate.
This is a different court, Blair.
Same result, Slay.
Oh, okay, Blair. See, that's Tyler Tanner. See, Tyler Tanner's in the house now.
Let's see what you got. Jerry's out, Blair.
Blair, come on. Okay, Blair, just come sit down. Come on, Blair, stop. You're going to get hurt. Blair, get off the court. That's enough.
What's the verdict, Blair? The courtroom is where I play ball.
Boy, Durham, injury law. And that ain't got no roof.
My nose is working like it.
Ramon and Will on 104.5 The Zone, coming to you live from Nashville Golf and Athletic Club for 104.5 The Zone's Golf Classic presented by Ferguson. Stoney Keeley filling in for Will Bowling this morning. Having a good time. It is, I'm looking at my clock, 6:50 a.m., and we are talking about cocktails here during the break. Beginning to think maybe we have a problem here, fellas. I don't know about that. But it is shaping up to be quite a nice day. And, well, you know, if you're so inclined, hey, no judgment here.
Absolutely.
From what I understand, Justin, Kroll has the audio of the Wembanyama post-game press conference that we can go to. Kroll coming in clutch from the booth. Can we get the audio of Wembanyama's post-game presser?
Every team you face so far, you guys always found a way to get over the top eventually. What did you learn about how hard it is to win the finals against this Knicks team where they kept coming up with answers? Brunson just could always score no matter what in the end.
I learned one of many things I learned is the margin of error is very, very thin. Our domination stints are absolute. We absolutely dominated for most of the series. But our errors, our mistakes, are punished so hard that we can't have ups and downs like this so much, you know. The ups are okay, the downs, it's the reason we lost.
So people are kind of grilling him over this, saying it's not acknowledging Jalen Brunson and the Knicks, so to speak. He says we absolutely dominated for most of the series, and I don't know, Ramon. I hear that, and I think this is a guy that's trying to process what just happened. I think it's a moment of transparency where if you look at some of the stats from this series, San Antonio led for like 72% of the series or something like that. Like, it's not factually incorrect for him to say what he's saying. And that's where I'm kind of like, y'all got to give the kid a break a little bit here.
No doubt. He stood in there. I thought he thought it through what he was going to say. A portion of me also believed this too. I think he wanted it to sound that way. I think he wanted them to know that, hey, we let you guys off the hook. And is there anything wrong with that? Like, I'm not saying this Kobe mentality, because I feel like we throw that out there a lot, like the Mamba mentality of like, okay, you got me, but I'll get you again. But like, giving out too much credit is something that doesn't seem like he's willing to do. And he's, like I said, he's right about the dominance. They owned it for the most part. They jumped out early with double-digit leads in the first half. Going into the second half, they did as well, and they folded. Like, he didn't disparage the Spurs is what I got from that. He didn't give too much credit to the Knicks is what I got from that. Yeah. And if they wanted a sound bite from him, it was we dominated. And, like, Knicks fans can run with it. It was like, but how dominant were you when you lost 4-1? Like, there is some get back that you got to be creative on Wemby with. Like, if that was me, you dominated for 3.5 quarters. Like, that's what I would tell him in those moments right there. Like, if you're looking for everybody to praise you, I think that's the wrong way to be in it. Like, the Knicks couldn't care any less probably about him saying good formalities to him. It's probably a process of them. Go enjoy the parade. Like, it's been 51 years for the Knicks.
Yeah, 53, I think.
53 years?
Yeah. Which is crazy in and of itself, because I keep hearing they haven't won a title since 1973. And I don't know, maybe I'm getting old, but I still think that's like 20, 25 years ago.
You know where you realize it? See, I'm an 86er, okay? I was born in 86, and when I got to fill out stuff online, my dog, you feel me? When I got to fill out stuff and you got to scroll down the age thing, you see how long the scroll is now, Stoney?
Yeah. No, people keep telling me I'm gonna be 40 in a couple of weeks, and people keep telling me, "Oh, it's a big deal. You need to do something." And I feel like I've hit that age where I'm like, "Oh no, I don't want to do anything." But
think about this: in our like hot era as kids, as youth, me and you, Stoney, the year 2000. Those kids about to be like 26 years old now.
Yeah, I know, man. We're beyond like kids born in 2000 can drink in bars. Like we're 5 years past that.
So, it's insane.
It is insane. Justin, I want to get your thoughts on the Wembanyama presser as well. Do you think people are being too hard on the guy, calling him a sore loser, or do you feel like they're just in that response.
No, I mean, I like his response because they did dominate, but at the end of the day, he's got to acknowledge, if he wants to say they dominated, then you have to say we didn't dominate for 48 minutes.
That's
an NBA game
put
is
a qualifier on it.
Exactly. An NBA game is 48 minutes. Sure, you may have dominated for 36 of them.
Yeah.
But you didn't finish.
Yeah.
In the last two games, especially the 29-point comeback, they were outscored. I think it was 32 to 18 or something like that.
Whew.
And last night they were outscored in the fourth quarter 29 to 18.
Tough.
You've got to find a way to finish. And they just couldn't find a way to finish.
Like, if they want humbleness and embarrassment for Wemby, like, the joke's in him saying that. Like, the joke's in him saying we dominated. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
That's
there's
my
an
part.
asterisk on the domination.
Yeah, no doubt. 4-1. Like, there's an asterisk on the dominance. That's where I think in basketball, like, him saying that makes next year very, very interesting.
Yeah, it keeps a little spice going,
It
too.
does.
And I'm curious the offseason that they're going to have because, like I said, they need some help, especially down low in the paint because Wembanyama can't do it. They've got a nice young group up at the point there, but we got to see what
some
they
bigs. Need some help right there too. Before we go on the break, so I got to give one shout out, man. One remembrance actually. In my era, I thought this guy was great. He was just on my mind this morning, man. Alden Smith.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, man. The day that he passed a couple days ago, he ended up he was at a shelter giving away pizza. The heart was pure, man, and apparently he passed away in his vehicle. So for the NFL family, man, that's got health issues and dealing with stuff like that, I saw this guy, man, be one of the great gladiators in our era when it was so hot for him, and just kind of just went downhill for him personally and I think professionally as well. But rest in peace, man, to Alden Smith. Battled against that guy. I saw this guy lift a 360-pound man with one arm off his feet.
He's a fun player to watch. Fun
player, man. And you can only say time and time again, what if, man. But I want to just give a shout-out to his family and condolences to them as a dude I've battled against, man. 36 years old. We're talking about these ages out here. It's way too young.
Well said, Ramon. We are up against the break coming up. I've got a few more items on the Knicks Spurs series to get through as we're out here at the Zones Golf Classic presented by Ferguson. More Ramon and Will coming right up.
What's up? It's Will Bowling for my friends at Brentwood Jewelry. Hey, Father's Day is coming up. Give your father the gift of time this Father's Day with Brentwood Jewelry. Choose from their large selection of timepieces from Tissot to Bremont to Oris, Luminox. They have a gift that can fit any budget. And don't forget about Brentwood Jewelry's pre-owned Rolex marketplace. Give Dad the gift of a fine pre-owned Rolex for a fraction of the cost. Every watch they sell has been meticulously serviced to ensure the highest level of performance and is presented with a 2-year warranty. You can check them out online, BrentwoodJewelry.com. Take a look at their fine pre-owned Rolex watches, their selection including both prior models and the current models for you to compare. I just went by there last week. Got a wedding watch for me. I've everything shiny for my wedding. That was this past weekend. Came from Brentwood Jewelry. Go by and see them located in the heart of Brentwood, just off Franklin Road, 7012 Church Street East. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, Saturday, 9 to 4. Online at BrentwoodJewelry.com.
7:03, good morning, live from Nashville Golf and Athletic Club for the 104.5 The Zone Golf Classic. I'm Justin Hawkins. The drought's over. The New York Knicks are NBA champions for the first time since 1973. They beat the Spurs in Game 5 Saturday night, 94-90. Point guard Jalen Brunson set a Knicks NBA Finals record by scoring 45 points, including 13 straight in the fourth quarter. Jalen Brunson is the Finals MVP, and he averaged 32 points per game. The drought's also over for the Carolina Hurricanes. They are Stanley Cup champions for the first time since 2006 after shutting out the Golden Knights 3-0 Sunday night. Brandon Boosie recorded his first career playoff shutout, stopping all 22 shots. Captain Jordan Stahl for the Hurricanes took home the Conn Smythe Trophy for playoff MVP, becoming the oldest player to win it at age 37. He tallied 12 points in 18 games. And in the World Cup, the U.S. handily beat Paraguay Friday night 4-1, earning 3 points and the top spot in Group D. The U.S. will play Friday night against Australia, who beat Turkey 2-0 on Saturday. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans involves. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Hour number 2 of Ramon and Will here on 104.5 The Zone, coming to you live from Nashville Golf and Athletic Club. We are out here for 104.5 The Zone's 2026 Golf Classic, presented by Ferguson. It is a beautiful morning out here. We're out here with the wildlife. People are practicing, getting ready for the big event. We got chipmunks running across the porch. We've got Kirby's out here sharing stories during the commercial break. It's just a beautiful scene. Just a fantastic morning out here in lovely Brentwood, Tennessee. Want to give a special thanks to Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply, Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, and, of course, Brentwood Hearing Center as well. We got honking trucks going by.
Yeah, he's in the chat.
Yeah.
Hey,
how about that?
That is a nice dump truck.
There we go.
Hey,
all right. We are on the air.
Nice. I bet he don't even have to get out to lift up a garbage can with that one.
No, man, that's a transformer.
God,
he's driving a transformer. That thing's gonna stand up on him.
He got a dust like a city bus door, man.
No kidding.
God, that's nice.
Stoney Keeley filling in for Will Bowling this morning, joined by Ramon Foster, Justin Hawkins as well. We're talking about the 2026 NBA champion New York Knicks throwing a party this morning for the Knicks. But I want to, before we wrap up this conversation, there's a few more things I want to talk about. We've been talking a lot about the Spurs, and Ramon, you said something earlier that I think is particularly interesting. The assumption that we'll be back,
man,
and fans are looking at the young nucleus of this Spurs team, and a coach and a roster that is gaining experience, valuable playoff experience, and the assumption is, hey, they're going to be talented enough, they're going to be back. Don't sweat it, guys. The Spurs will be back. And I can remember 2012. That young Oklahoma City Thunder team that went to the finals and lost to the Miami Heat, the LeBron James, D. Wade, Chris Bosh, Miami Heat. 2012, thinking the same thing. Like this nucleus is so talented.
Yeah.
And they'll be back. We thought we were getting a decade straight of Heat versus Thunder in the finals. And that Thunder team never went back.
No.
They never went back. 13 years go by, and Oklahoma City gets to the finals and wins a championship 2025. That's just last summer. I'm also reminded, to go to the football world, I'm reminded of Dan Campbell in the post-game presser after the Detroit Lions lose the NFC Championship.
That was a dark statement by him, wasn't it?
And he's saying, he's emotional, visibly emotional in that moment, and he's saying, I have to tell these guys, it is not given that we will be back. It is hard to get to this point to win a championship.
Yeah.
So ultimately, Ramon, the question I want to ask you is, is there something to this we'll be back thing for this Spurs team? Do you feel they're unique, or is this something that Spurs fans just should not take for granted?
I don't think any fan should ever take it for granted. Like we've already, and speaking of Dan Campbell went out and said just hand the Rams the trophy, right? When they went and got Myles Garrett, right? They got Trent McDuffie. They got a lot of they got Matthew Stafford. They got everything that you want as a team. Like I would tell any fan base, do not take any year for granted because it's so easy to be 3-14 and 14-3. Like it just is, especially in the pros, man, where the margin of error, as Wemby said, is small. When you look at the amount of talent, like sometimes the players aren't bad. It might be the coaching staff. Sometimes it's probably the wrong injury at the wrong time. Sometimes it's, hey, we had a second-year guy in against Aaron Donald. Like it's that simple. And the idea that just because you made it means you'll get it back again. I'm watching the team right now. I saw a guy in Aaron Rodgers who set the world on fire in 2010 and went out and won the Super Bowl. Yeah. How many more Super Bowls does Aaron Rodgers have?
I'd have to check my my notebook there, but I don't think any.
He's one and done and hadn't even sniffed another Super Bowl. Like we look at these teams that go through this process each and every year, and I think that's why coaches get so friggin' emotional about it. And they're trying to set themselves up through free agency, through drafts, through continuity with staff, and we're going to talk about that a little bit as well. Just, who's affected by coaching changes, the fans are, what it means to be healthy. Like the years that I played, like we had the squads. We absolutely had the squad. We had stars at each level on offense and defense. Then Le'Veon Bell gets hurt. Yeah. And then Ben gets hurt. Yeah. And then Antonio will get hurt. Like it and each time, the players who are in that mode, in those zones, they know. Like I knew when certain players went out, it's going to be hard to go up in New England. Like that's why I like when players break down and cry over championships is because it's so freaking hard. Like, and that's why coaches boast so much and ownership pours so much into it. Like to say I can go out and pay for a championship is hard. We're watching college teams right now put together what was $25 million football rosters are now up to $50 million almost. Yeah. Like damn near just to go chase it. And here's the catch. There's only one. And, like, there's a lot, and I don't think we use this enough when we speak about sports because we want to believe my team is just better than yours. Right, right. There's a lot of luck that goes into it. There's a lot of fortune. Like, the ball has to bounce the right way in all sports. We're looking at historic franchises like the Cubs who had a 100-year drought and they just won it in 2016, wherever it was. You know what I'm saying? And it hadn't been back since. Like, the Dodgers, like, I get what they're doing and why people are so upset with, hey, the fact that they're winning so much and, hey, we need to break this up. And they're probably going to be an MLB lockout at some point because they are paying for some of the best athletes. But in all of that, though, I still give credit to those teams because pitching has to be right. Hitting has to be right. Defense has to be stupendous as well. And I'll never short a team on winning a championship, even the Lakers when they won it in the bubble. That is one of my other dream cars right there. That RS5 Audi, the wagon. You hear it?
Yeah, I do. I do.
That is a beast.
I heard it before I saw it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The RS5 wagon is elite. But to that point, though, it's hard, Stoney, winning, and to say we'll be back is almost foolish.
Yeah. Let's talk about Jalen Brunson a little bit. This series, obviously finals MVP, 45 points in that decisive Game 5. Do you think this series has kind of ascended him into that upper echelon of superstar in the NBA right now?
Man, yes, I do. When you win a championship the way he did and how he forced his team, like I had a saying when I played, like we had it as a group. You can't lead a horse to – you can't make – what did it say? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. But you can't make him drink.
With the assist there.
Yes, but you know what we will say?
What's that?
You can drown him.
You can drown him. There we go. That's gold.
Okay?
That's gold.
And that's what Jalen Brunson did.
Yeah, that's a bar.
He did like Karl Anthony Towns has a stigma about him that, hey, he's soft. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Josh Hart will have his flubs every once in a while, too, on the court. And you watch Jalen Brunson have that stoic look on his face and say, watch this. Either y'all get in this boat with me or I'm tossing you off. Yeah. And that, to me, yes, raises his level of stardom, in my personal opinion. When you win and represent, okay, he's just showing out.
He's going to drive by us?
He's just showing out right now.
He must be listening to the show.
He got to be listening to the show. But when you win on that stage for that city for one of those teams, yeah. He, in my personal opinion, is a superstar. I'll tell you one person though that cannot and should not ever celebrate this championship.
Who's that?
Stephen A. Smith.
Stephen A. Smith, no.
He dogged Jalen Brunson when he left the Mavericks. You remember that whole conversation? I was trying to look for the comments just then. He absolutely dogged him, and I feel like fans like that are media folks that constantly dog people out and be like, hey, this guy sucks. He shouldn't have been in this position. You shouldn't get the spoils of their riches as well.
You don't get to enjoy this moment.
Because you can't measure a person's, and I hate to say it like this, but you can't measure their heart and their drive whenever you sign them in free agency like that. Shout out to the Knicks front office for bringing in Jalen Brunson, bringing in Karl Anthony Towns, because, again, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. But, Kirby, what can we do to him? We can drown him.
We can drown him.
That's like, to me personally, can I say this too? Just watching the Titans, I think that's what Cam's trying to do. Cam Ward.
I could 100% see that.
He needs more stock in the game and needs more good to come out. But the attitude and the mentality of, look, we're rowing in the right direction, and everybody either get with this or get left behind, and I like those type of teammates.
I'm trying to think of the last example I have of a guy just kind of imposing his will on a series the way Jalen Brunson did in this one. And I go back to 5 years ago, 2021, Giannis against the Phoenix Suns. And I remember Milwaukee winning that series, and there's a point in that series where you could almost just see it happen, where it's like this kid's just putting the team on his back, and he is refusing to lose. And that killer instinct, that sort of mindset, ice cold from Jalen Brunson, absolutely deserves, in my opinion, like you said, for that franchise, for that city, if you win a title like that kind of grit and determination and the clutch performances, you are absolutely in the upper echelon of superstars in the NBA for my book. But you had an example of this? I do.
I had a homeboy of mine, Marquito. What up, Marquito? He was listening. Like, Chauncey Billups had a run like this.
Oh, man, you're right.
With the Pistons.
Yeah.
He did. I would throw Dirk with Dallas in there because he's the one that beat Miami.
Yeah,
and they partied
true.
that lived in Miami after that. Like, I know Dirk was already a superstar, but he legitimately put the team on his back and carried that trophy all the way back to Dallas and him, and that made him, who's already respected in the league, but it solidified his Hall of Fame status, so too.
Yeah. Really happy for Mike Brown and all of this as well. You kind of alluded to it earlier, Ramon. Reputation as a guy that can kind of get your program a nice floor, but maybe not get over the hump. For him to go out there with this team, really, man, I got kind of some Andy Reid vibes from it. It's like that guy that's been good, but you want him to go out there and like win his trophy, get his championship, and that was Mike Brown, who's now the 39th coach in NBA history to win a title. So a lot of celebrating for Knicks fans. Congratulations again. If you're within earshot of us and you're celebrating as champions this morning, that was a good series, good performance from Jalen Brunson. Happy for Mike Brown. And I also just want to mention before we go to break here, this is kind of what you live for as a fan, these moments with your team. And, you know, I'm not saying like go tear down light poles and burn couches in the street or anything like that, but these moments in championships, the gritty performances where you come out on top, the euphoria of winning like that, this is part of the reason that we love sports so much.
It is.
And I just want to point out, the New York Knicks just won an NBA title for the first time in 53 years. The same year that Sam Darnold goes and wins a Super Bowl for the Seattle Seahawks, the same year that Indiana Hoosiers cap off an undefeated season in college football. Why can't the Titans do something similar? Man. You know, why can't something crazy happen there?
Yeah, I'm with you there, man. And I think that's what I was thinking as you have a team like the Knicks win after so long. Like the hope, that H, boy, we love it in sports, Stoney. That good old H, man, that good old hope.
Yep.
And that's what the Knicks have done. That's what Indiana has done. That's what NIL era college teams are trying to deliver on as well. I have that Stephen A. clip about about Jalen Brunson signing back in 2022. We're up against the break, so I'll probably bring it up after the break.
Yeah, let's do that. Coming up, we're going to hear from Stephen A. Smith, apparently, via clip, and we're going to talk more. Shift gears to World Cup. We're going to talk Titans today as well. We are out here at Nashville Golf and Athletic Club for 104.5 The Zone's 2026 Golf Classic, presented by Ferguson. More Ramon and Will is on the way.
Hey, it's Will Bowling. Summer is heating up, and so are the career opportunities at Lee Company. Their team is hiring skilled tradespeople in HVAC, plumbing, electrical, sheet metal, and more. With 80-plus years in business, Lee Company offers competitive pay, top-notch benefits, and free training to help you grow. And 80-plus years in business, when you are in business for that long, you learn how to do business the right way. So make your next career move your best one yet with Lee Company. Apply today at leecompany.com/careers. That's online at leecompany.com/careers for the folks who are a multi-award winning great place to work with 16 community locations here in Tennessee and in Kentucky, Alabama, and Georgia as well. Head online to leecompany.com/careers. That's Lee Company. All you need. Credit card interest rates are now over 29%. Most people are only making minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. What's up? It's Will Bowling. Many homeowners don't realize you can use the equity in your home, easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you could pay off your credit cards, that existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. And one client, she's got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. Here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out of pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at near 3-year lows, so act now. Go to loanpronto.com, see how much you can get in about 60 seconds. That's Loan Pronto with 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 615-499-5780 or visit loanpronto.com. Call them at 615-499-5780 or online at loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLS consumeraccess.org.
Will on 104.5 The Zone, coming to you live from Nashville Golf and Athletic Club out here in beautiful Brentwood, Tennessee. Man, the morning has really sprung to life. When we got here, it was a little quiet, a little tranquil, I believe was the word that I used earlier, but now it's buzzing with activity as the golfers are gearing up for a big day here at 104.5 The Zone's 2026 Golf Classic presented by Ferguson. Special thanks to Contours LLC, The Joint Chiropractic, and Wayne's Pest Control. Like I said earlier, it takes a team to pull off an event of this magnitude. And speaking of majesty, in the beautiful morning, here comes Big Boss Bert.
Big Boss Bert just showed up with a company shirt on. So look at him.
You never know. Get the paparazzi ready. My man is here.
That's my guy. We've been together 2 out of the last 3 days, man.
Is that right?
My dog. We was at the bowling wedding. Been a minute. You feel me?
Yeah.
Both at golf courses.
Both at golf courses too.
But not playing golf.
Man, let me hit this clip real quick from Stephen A. Like, I don't have the clip. I have the interview that he posted on, and Knicks fans were coming out of the woodworks reminding Stephen A. Smith, this doesn't belong to you, this championship.
Yeah,
and I feel like
he talked a lot of garbage.
If the Titans ever get to this point, there'll be a lot of media folks that have to eat it in Nashville as well. It kind of reminds you, like, the image that you're seeing in the current player might not be the end game when it comes into it. If a player crashed and burned, I'm sure Stephen A. would have been all over this. But we got to call out people that absolutely crap on folks and when they're proven wrong. You don't get to celebrate these types of things.
No. And he was proven dead wrong.
He was proven dead wrong. This is his clip, and you know how Stephen A. talks. I see if I can do it like him.
All right.
I'm tired, y'all. The Knicks are acting like he's KD. Jalen Brunson isn't the answer. You created this cap space to get Jalen Brunson? Is he KD? Is he Kawhi Leonard? All of this stuff you're going to because you're selling New York on Jalen Brunson?
Phew. That's pretty good, Stephen A.
That was solid right there.
That was pretty good, Stephen A. right
and
there.
I respect Stephen A., the sports analyst, okay? I respect how he's crafted his career. But he don't get to celebrate this Knicks championship, not even a little bit. And I know if he ever hear me say this, he'd be like, well, I do. Because I know he's a Steelers fan too. But my point in saying that is this. Whether he had to choose a side because ESPN's production said, hey, you choose this side for great entertainment. I love the fact that Jalen Brunson went out and got this one. The finals MVP and everything involved in it too, man. I like giving credit to people who were crapped on in their careers that beat the underdog stigma and climbed to the mountaintop, and he's there right now.
There is a clip that they replayed, because Brunson ends up in one-on-one situations with Victor Wembanyama at different points throughout the series, and they show the replay, and when they slow it down in slow motion, you see the size difference between the two.
Yeah, man.
And it's almost like a David and Goliath sort of stories. Like, you see this guy just kind of breeze by him. He's shifty. He moves well. And then to finish, to score, to post those kind of points, like, it's just so impressive. And I keep coming back to this ascension to this upper tier of NBA stars for Brunson. This is one of the more impressive title wins that I've seen in my lifetime. And granted, I haven't been an NBA fan for, all that long, but relative to the 53-year drought that Knicks fans had to deal with for this title, but just so impressed with his performance.
There's another one, too, that we scathed over.
Who's that?
Kawhi Leonard with the Toronto Raptors.
Yeah. That was a good one.
That was
2019.
Yep.
2019.
And hasn't been the same since.
Again, we'll be back.
Dynasty.
Man, famous last words, man.
Yeah. That's why I remember when the Titans went to the AFC Championship in 2019, and it was like, well, we got this core together. We got this nucleus. And I'm like, y'all stop saying that. Don't say it. Don't say we'll be back.
No. Players age, coaches leave staffs. Like, look at the Detroit Lions, like how their staff got pillaged. You know what I'm saying? After their big run and resetting that franchise, players get injured. Teams catch up to you as far as game plans go. There's just a lot that goes into those famous last words, we'll be back. And I think
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, I felt like Superman saying it at the time. It was probably one of my post-interview comments I had after we lost the Super Bowl. But in the end, you feel foolish, but you do feel, you realize, like.
Well, and I think from the athlete's perspective, like, you have to think like that.
No doubt.
If you don't think like that, then that's a surefire recipe to not get back.
Exactly. It at least lets the Spurs management from Wemby's perspective know you guys need to buy in.
Yeah.
Like, you need to buy in. And I'm a KD fan as well. So, like, a lot of people look at KD's situation and kind of say, well, you went and joined for that team. When in today's NBA, when people make it feel like you're not one of the greats unless you got a ring, I can understand it.
Yeah, but he could be great by himself.
He could with no ring. And then that era, like looking at Carmelo Anthony, looking at Charles Barkley, looking at John Stockton, Karl Malone, think of all the Patrick Ewing, think of all the greats that people know they're great, but the ring sends them to another ascension. Like, that's the point of it all. And I'll say this, too, about KD. KD absolutely won those championships, I feel like, for the Warriors in that era. Like, he was the guy. Like, Steph, he tried to give it to Steph, and KD took over in those moments, though. So, and that right there is a huge talking point as well.
I think from the media and fan perspective, to assume will be back ignores the element of luck that it requires to win a championship, too. And it's not to discredit what the Knicks did, but I don't know how many championships in the history of sports have been won without at least a little bit of luck on your side.
No doubt.
And that's the random element of it, the variables that teams incur throughout the season and throughout the postseason, and a million different things that can impact just the outcome of a game, much less 82 games, much less 20 games in the playoffs or whatever it ends up being. Like, I just appreciate the moment in time and keep building for the future.
Let's bring it back local. Think about the 1999 Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, that's another good example.
Music City Miracle.
Yeah.
That side of it. Let's go to the 08 teams, right? Like, look at
that 08 team.
Look at how strong they were.
Yeah.
Right? And then you mentioned, you think of those moments. Now think about the gaps in between. Like, that is hard getting there. And I'm not saying this as if you shouldn't try. Like, the goal, and I've said this continually when it comes down to sports, whether you're a high school coach, whether you're a college coach, or whether you're a professional coach, the goal from the fan base is to not get bored with staying knocking at the door. Like, if you got a team that constantly at the footstep of the door or on the doormat knocking, like, finding the right pieces to kind of piece it together is kind of where you want to be. And I know everybody, look at the Jeff Fisher era, it's like, oh, we'll be 8-8. 8-8's damn good.
Yeah. Well, that's like, I remember.
When you look at it.
Talking about the state of the NFL today and how, everybody wants to poach from this Sean McVay coaching tree or the Kyle Shanahan coaching tree. And everybody wants, like, a taste of that success, and it doesn't always work like that.
No.
So I think the Knicks are also a really interesting example of how to build a team, because just last year Oklahoma City wins a championship, talking about building through the draft, and that's the way to build a team moving forward. Yeah, all that stuff. And now the Knicks go out and they acquire their centerpieces through trades. Jalen Brunson, hats off to him, takes a pay cut so that they could build this thing. And now it's a new example of, this is the standard we have to chase after.
Yeah.
And I think what I'm getting at bringing this up is, like, that's another thing where, like, the Spurs can't fall into the trap of chasing what has been successful for other teams to win a championship. Like, stick to the principles of your organization and get guys that work well together, because I think that's ultimately what did it for the New York Knicks. They played well together. They found the right people when they built that roster and put those players together.
I mean, we're watching this happen right now. This replication happen in college, specifically college football. And even on the basketball side with LSU getting all those older guys too, but everybody's saying, well, they had 23-year-olds. Like, you look at some teams that really reset themselves. Vanderbilt, right down the street, right? Like, you knew they had an older, veteran-led team, and to help reset what they are and have them at a higher floor than they ever have been at with their quarterback in Diego Pavia. Like, repeating that is still going to be hard. Or everybody's saying, like, with what Indiana's done, like, you got to give it to Kurt Cignetti. He's a damn good coach.
Yeah.
Let's throw that out there first, because in order to get all of those bodies, you got to also know how to mesh them, manage them, and also coach them up on game days. What adjustments are you making? Because they could have very well lost that Penn State game, you know, and with how they played, and still you persevered. That, to me, was a luck win.
Yeah.
That was a lucky win to them. Like, the perfect season's done at that point, and we don't speak about that side of it much at all. But the replication that you're seeing now, as I said, just to the college side, every fan is understanding why they're going to go get older players on their teams right now. Everybody want to get high-caliber players in coming out of high school, but then they want to go get veterans in the transfer portal.
Right.
But it's no guarantee. There's absolutely zero guarantee in this.
I just remembered the point I was going to make when I brought up Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan. I don't know if you guys could notice, I lost my point mid-sentence.
So I didn't catch it.
I just pivoted. Pivoted. So
Radio Pro.
I'm breaking the cardinal rule of my speech class from 12th grade at Wilson Central High School when my teacher said, if you make a misstep, don't point it out, because chances are nobody noticed it.
But you know what they tell you in radio?
What's that?
Everything's entertainment.
Everything's entertainment. There we go. All right. So my point was, everybody wants the shiny new toy, right? Because that's what's hot and successful right now. But if you're not paying attention to the NFL, you might not notice that the Steelers have built a thing where they're around the bubble every year, and they're a piece here, a piece there away from really going on a run.
Yeah.
And even with the questions they've had, they've still had some pretty dang good teams throughout the years. And that is kind of the spot that you want to be in, where you've always got a shot.
Yeah.
You've always got an opportunity.
Yeah.
And I think that's an interesting case study in how to build a team. People don't say we want to be the Steelers. It's we want to be the Chiefs, the Rams, whatever.
Rams, just where you sell it all out and everything else at once. Like, but the thing is, though, too, and I think that's the reason Mike Tomlin walked away, how does a fan feel about that?
Yeah,
like,
that's the thing. Yeah,
like we mentioned Jeff Fisher. Like, Jeff Fisher was known as 500 and above for the most part.
9-7.
9-7. Like
9-7.
Like, but there's value in that.
Yeah.
To your point, though, Stoney. Like, that's one player. That's probably one injury. Like, and as somebody that's lived in a world where I've never lost under 500. Losing that many games, even to go 8-8 when there was 16 games in a season, losing 8 games feels terrible.
Yeah.
It just does. So think about what winning 9 games win. Think about what winning 10 games win. Like, some people are of the mindset, we need to lose for higher draft picks, and I get that. But you don't think about the current bodies that got to go through all of that losing.
For sure.
Like I said, I had a side conversation with a player at practice one day, and they were adamant about, like, this has to change as far as the Titans go. Like, it was just like, it's not fair to the young guys that walk inside his locker room and think this is normal.
Yeah.
Losing like this isn't normal. Trying to find ways to survive week in and week out as a pro is not normal. So I think with the addition of Robert Saleh, Brian Dable, Gus Bradley, and the entire Randy Jordan, the entire Titans staff, like, I think they understand that. And if you're honest with players as well, players want to be coached hard but fair. The whole chill stick that people do, it doesn't really carry through as much. And there's no indictment on Brian Callahan whatsoever. Like, his first time as a head coach, I bet you'll be way different his next time as a head coach with how he goes about doing things, man. And that's not alluding to anything when it comes down to him. I just think when you have a starved team that wants to win games, conversation usually doesn't work too well. Sometimes you just got to tell them, hey, do this, and this is why, because I know this helps us win.
Fair enough.
It is.
I saw you work that quick flex in there too. By the way, never lost more than 8 games.
But see, I lost my train of thought. But as a fan, how boring does that get to him?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Zach Lyons and I do Football and Other F Words Thursday nights, and last summer we were kind of talking about, the conversation that the Titans fan base was having about wanting to be, Kansas City and LA and San Francisco and all these teams, and we got grilled because we were like, nah, give me the Steelers. Give me what the cover your ears Ravens have.
I roll with that.
The Packers are another example of like teams that are just always around, always in the hunt.
Chargers somewhat in that boat as of late.
Sure.
Yeah, I get you.
Those are the teams that have the foundation built to earn a chance. And if you get a chance, to go back to something we said another moment ago, there is that element of luck where if you can get the things you need to break your way, man, you can go on a run, and the next thing you know, you got a championship. And that's what we saw with the New York Knicks, and it's kind of like what we want to see the Tennessee Titans get to as well.
Real quick, why do we disparage luck? Was the Music City Miracle luck? Was the Rams tackling the Titans at the 1 yard line luck?
I don't know what I would say to that. You're going to put me on the spot.
No, it's just a thought. We can think about it after the fact.
Sometimes it's right spot, right time.
I know, but why did we disparage that?
I feel like
too philosophical this morning, Ramon.
Because I like we're talking about championships.
Yeah, and I think
like it's the off season. Like this is where, as a team, being around each other, like being on the same page, having everybody accountable, it starts now. Like those conversations, like those moments, don't just happen during the season. Is my point.
Yeah, and I think to that point, it kind of goes back to sometimes you hear athletes saying like, the guy just made a play. Sometimes those things just happen. I think to be truly objective on the matter, like you got to acknowledge sometimes things just happen. Well, sometimes guys just make plays.
We'll go more into it. That was
okay.
Well, conversation.
We've sparked a thought here.
We have.
All right. I do want
to off the script today.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we. I gave you a script too, and we're just like, nah, we're gonna
screw that script. You don't use football and other F words.
There we go. We go. Before we get out of here, I do want to give a special thanks to a few of our beverage sponsors today: Coca-Cola, Milagro Tequila, Hendrix Gin. We are out here at Nashville Golf and Athletic Club for 104.5 The Zone's Golf Classic, presented by Ferguson. More Ramon and Will on the way after this.
You start noticing cracks in the wall, uneven floors, or driveway sinking and separating. It's more than a home issue. It's a peace of mind issue. That's why who you choose for foundation repair and concrete leveling, it really matters. I trust United Structural Systems because they've been doing this the right way since 1994 right here in Tennessee. USS doesn't believe in quick fixes or scare tactics at all. They take the time to inspect, explain what's happening, and walk you through real proven solutions that are built to last. Whether your home needs foundation stabilization, crawl space repair, or concrete leveling for sinking sidewalks, patios, or driveways, USS uses engineered systems designed for long-term performance, not those temporary patches. What really stands out to me is their integrity. If you don't need a repair like I didn't, they'll tell you that and move on. But if you do, you'll know exactly why before the work even begins. From initial inspection to the final repair, USS will listen, educate, and deliver results that you can trust. USS is also introducing 24 months no interest financing options, good now through the end of June. So you can learn more or schedule your inspection at ussTN.com. Everyone's loving what's happening now at Genesis Diamonds. Free financing for 5 years. Make any purchase, pay $0 down, and get 0 interest for 5 years. It's insane. It's not just on engagement rings. It's also on earrings, bracelets, bands, colored gemstone jewelry, pre-owned Rolex watches. Buy now, pay nothing down, and spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest. So that $5,000 gift comes out to just about $85 a month. And a luxury pre-owned Rolex starts at only $150 a month. This is an amazing offer from the jeweler that's always finding ways to bring you more value. All GI certified diamonds are included in this: rounds, princess cuts, ovals, pear shapes, cushion cuts, emerald cuts. Whether you get a $5,000 diamond or a $50,000 diamond, you can spread your payments over 5 whole years. Also, lab-grown diamonds are also included in this. You can get the Genesis value price on anything. Pay $0 down and spread your payments over 5 years. But hurry, this is a limited time offer. This ends June 30th and will not be extended. Genesis Diamonds are located in Green Hills and Cool Springs. It is.
Ramon and Will on 104.5 The Zone. Stoney Keeley filling in for Will Bowling. Once again, congrats to the newlyweds this week. Hope they're enjoying some downtime. I know wedding weekend can be a little hectic, but hopefully they're enjoying their Monday morning. We are enjoying our Monday morning quite a bit out here, fighting off mosquitoes. But you know what? Hey, listen, I'm built for this. All right, I'm a werewolf. I'm covered in fur. So they're having a hard time finding anywhere to land on me. So we're good out here at Nashville Golf and Athletic Club for 104.5 The Zone's 2026 Golf Classic. Do want to give a special thanks to the Low T Center and Window Nation, as well as one of our food sponsors today, Pig and Pie Catering. Shout out here, man. We saw the van drive by earlier. My stomach growled when I saw that, and now they're torturing us. They're torturing us out here as the golfers are coming through, getting ready for the day, carrying plates of food out here for breakfast. Yeah. And so we're having a good time. We're talking a lot about Nick Spurs this morning.
We are.
But it sparked a really interesting conversation right before we went to break on the element of luck required to win a championship in sports. And Ramon, I'll send it to you. You said you had a thought for us to continue on.
I did. It was a comment in the chat, man. Shout out to everybody that's in our YouTube chat. You can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, by the way. Twitch, please. Shout out to Dawn. We just met her husband, man. Travis was out here.
Yeah, Travis came by.
Hey, he did. Shout out to Travis.
Great handshake, by the way.
Yes, it was. Solid dap, wasn't it?
Yeah, Travis has a world-class handshake.
Yes, he does. I don't care what Babs he says, okay? But our guy, Lemon said in the chat, it said, nobody wants to be in the 8-8 treadmill. Fans want to have a realistic shot at a chip. Fans don't want to be in the middle of the pack with no cap flexibility.
I don't know about that.
I don't either.
I mean, and here's the thing. It's like what we were talking about before. If you're 8-8 every year, that means that you've at least got a shot every year.
Yeah.
And maybe
in the graphic.
In the graphic, yeah, you're in the hunt in November. The season ain't over in October like last year was for the Titans. But that's when you start looking. You've got that 8-8 base. Well, you know what, man? One really good draft class can put you over the top.
Yep.
A little bit of luck, you can go on a run towards a Super Bowl, or you get the big free agent in the offseason that is the missing piece, the missing ingredient. It reduces your list of needs for things that need to go right for you to win a championship if you've got that base. But Justin had a great point when we're talking about this conversation about luck as well, if you want to present that to us, Justin.
Yeah, if you go back to the Music City Miracle, Lorenzo Neal was not supposed to receive the ball. Also, Kevin Dyson was not even supposed to be on the field during that play. They had a little bit of luck, but it's sometimes when you come with luck, it's the luck part of it is, where does the ball bounce? Does it bounce to you? Does it bounce away from you, to your team, to the other team?
Yeah.
The luck part is there. What's not luck is what you do with the ball after the fact.
Man, and that's where preparation comes in.
It does.
That's what you prepare for.
Speaking of ball bouncing the right way, the last, I feel like, real shot I had was in Denver against Peyton. I think that was the year they actually won the Super Bowl, too. It was that one in 2018 as well. But DeMarcus Ware, Hall of Famer.
Good player.
You got to have those, too.
Yeah.
You have to have those and have those guys step up in those championship moments. But we were driving on them, and I'll never forget, Toussaint Fitzgerald was running, and DeMarcus Ware, out of nowhere, pops the ball out, makes them fumble it, and they fall on the ball. And we were driving. Momentum done. Momentum gone.
Yeah.
But, your stars got to show up. The ball bounced in the right direction. The ball was probably a foot away from bouncing out of bounds. Man. And it stayed in bounds, and Denver recovered it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or I messed with Coach Brian Callahan about this. I was like, hey, did Peyton give himself up? Because he was on that staff. Peyton was dead to right, sacked in the backfield. And then next thing you know, he slides and gets back up and complete a pass to the sideline to Emmanuel Sanders.
That's where I had a guy at a scammy sales job tell me once time, opportunity is where luck meets preparation. And I think that's a wise way of looking at it from a guy that tried to get me to go door to door and sell knives and not make any money. So we're going to go to break here. More Ramon and Will from the 2026 Golf Classic presented by Ferguson. We'll be right back after this.
Did you know that 1 in 4 men over 40 have low testosterone? They have low energy, low sex drive, low motivation, and barely recognize themselves. But 100% of them can get it all back and feel like themselves again at Low T Center. Low T Center is the original TRT clinic, changing lives since 2009. They can help you get your energy, focus, and sex drive back. They even work with most major insurance providers. So head to fixmylowt.com and book your free testosterone test. That's fixmylowt.com. We've got a huge announcement from Two Rivers Ford. Just in, Two Rivers Ford is now offering employee pricing for everyone. That means you pay what they pay on almost every new Ford on the lot, good people. And at Two Rivers Ford, what you see is always what you get. They don't do things like add expensive accessories or tack on service packages to increase the price of the vehicle at all. No, Two Rivers Ford is upfront and honest every single time. And now they are offering you employee pricing. There's no better time to buy American, and there's no better dealership than Two Rivers Ford. They're locally owned and operated for over 40 years and home of the non-commissioned sales team as well. And now home of employee pricing for everybody. Just head over to the lot and they will hook you up because they're local, they're honest, and real. Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.
Welcome back for hour number 3 of Ramon and Will here on 104.5 The Zone. Stoney Keeley filling in for Will Bowling this morning. Ramon Foster is MIA. He just got up and ran? Oh, okay. Oh, that's right.
He's got to do the send-off.
He's got to do the send-off. He's got to rally the troops right now.
Our first flight is about to start.
There we go. Yeah, the action is about to kick
Ramon
off.
With the gun, though. if he's going to do that kind of send-off.
The action is about to kick off here at 104.5 The Zone's 2026 Golf Classic presented by Ferguson. We are out here at Nashville Golf and Athletic Club. Listen, the beautiful sights and sounds of dawn have subsided, and now the sun is hanging high in the air, scorching my pale fair skin. I'm going to be sunburned because I did not pack the sunscreen today. I'm wearing Ramon's sunglasses. Ramon brought coffee for us. I'm just completely unprepared this morning. But you know what? That's what they asked me to show up. I just show up and start talking about sports.
Yeah,
Justin,
you look a little pasty there.
That's yeah. Listen, I haven't been by the pool just yet this season. I got to work on this. This is my my Irish heritage, my Irish lineage coming out in me. Where I just, it's going to be August by the time I'm actually tan.
Are you the type that has a good burn and then becomes tan, or it's always a good burn?
It's always. I will be burned. Tomorrow morning, I will wake up and I will be as white as I was when I got here this morning. So it looks like, Ramon is over there rallying the troops here.
He might be a little bit.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, you know what? We're going to talk about World Cup soccer anyway.
Okay.
At this point. Justin, Friday night, I'm not – uh-oh. Oh, Ramon's running back, and I just heard is terrible. Terrible. Oh boy! Well, we're gonna get the scoop for you live here on the scene, folks. All I heard was Rich better not host that one. Shell shocked.
I did. That was terrible.
You shell shocked?
Yes.
So what happened there, Ramon?
Your inner Stephen A. Smith person.
It wasn't a football group.
Not a football group.
I was just like, okay, what are we doing? I enjoyed the send off.
Looks like Bert's over there rallying the troops.
It
now.
was terrible.
Yeah.
But we strike it every once in a while, though, right?
Yeah, you know what? Hey,
I was trying to get back to you, Stoney.
Like Wemby and the Spurs, you gotta learn from this moment. You gotta not let it decide who you're going to be in the future. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's where we're at. You joined us just in time for some World Cup talk. We're going to talk a little bit about the United States' decisive victory over Paraguay
what you got?
on Friday night. The U.S. scores early in that one, and then I'm watching the game. I can watch the soccer because we got Peacock, so I don't have to worry about missing out.
Why'd you get rid of cable?
Well, listen, that's a long story, Ramon. I don't know if I can say it on air, but my wife said I'm tired of this.
That's real.
And then she just told me she did it, and I was like, you know what, baby, you're right.
She pulled a cord out.
Baby, you're right. I'm watching the game, and I'm thinking this could have been like 5-0 by the 38th minute of this game. The most goals the U.S. has scored in a World Cup game. Justin, I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be some soccer expert in front of you or anything like that. I love the World Cup. I watched the first World Cup that I consumed was in 2006, and I fell in love with it. And I love the pageantry, the tradition of it, learning more about the sport as I consume a little bit of it here and there. But in that window, man, I can't recall a time where the United States team looked as dominant as they did on Friday night. Give us a little bit of what you saw from that contest.
Well, they showed out in front of their home crowd. And that was one of the biggest things is, the U.S. men's national team has struggled in recent years. They missed the World Cup a couple World Cups ago. They made it back. They cruised past this one. They had two early goals by Folarin Balogun. I hope I'm saying his name right. That's Will's expertise in pronunciations. That's
I'm cooked.
But the way that they played, even though their star forward, Christian Pulisic, he exited the game early, was kicked in the calf. He was just taken out for precaution, so there's no need to worry for U.S. fans there that they're just taking him out for precaution. They had a 3-0 lead going into halftime. Mm-hmm. They did not need to push anything, rush anything. The way that they possessed the ball was a little bit more I don't even know the right word for it, but I was impressed with just the way that they were able to dance around Paraguay. And in that first half, I thought the second half was a little bit sloppy. I thought they were trying to do a little bit too much there. But in the end, they played really solid defense. The goalie, Matt Freese, was excellent in goal. Did allow one late in extra stoppage time. And then the Gio Reyna goal in the 98th minute, which was
that
90
was
plus
crazy.
8. Oh, my goodness.
Minute?
Yeah,
the
it was.
98th
Yeah, they
minute.
had 8 minutes of stoppage time going into that one. Gio Reyna's goal put just an absolute fireworks stamp show on that one, and it was good to see. It was a great show and great opening match, and then they're going to play Australia, who had an upset win over Turkey on Saturday night. They beat them 2-0. Now they will play Australia on Friday. It's good. I was very impressed. There was
They're on top of the group now, no, right?
They are.
I mean, it's just one round of games.
Both them and Australia are tied at the top in Group D stage for 3 points, but the U.S. holds the goal advantage with 4-1 compared to 2-0.
Yeah.
I was more impressed with the rest of the games over the course of the weekend, with Brazil tying 1-1 against Morocco. That was a shocker. And then Germany 7-1 blowout.
They scored a
Curaçao.
touchdown.
Woo.
They scored a touchdown
It's not every day.
Germany. I watched a little bit of that
game.
game this weekend.
Yeah.
It was fine.
Yeah. I mean, that was men playing against boys there. That was professional team playing against a high school team. That's one of the things you get when you saturate the field, going from 32 teams to 48 teams. I mean, nobody asked for them to increase the
So it was
field.
pretty much like another friendly match,
I mean,
is what it was.
you've got teams in there like today. Spain's playing Cape Verde. I mean,
So did Cape Verde win the first round for them to play them, or this is still just pool play?
No, this is their first game is today. Spain and Cape play today.
I think that's Lucas's squad that he's choosing in Spain. I think
Portugal.
Portugal
He's
is
got
his squad.
Portugal. Yeah, he's hoping for the Destiny Child, the one that's not Lionel Messi, that's Cristiano Ronaldo. He's hoping that in probably his last World Cup that he can get it done. We'll see. I doubt it, but as Will is putting it this way, Ronaldo might be their own demise. He might be in the way because he likes to have the ball on his foot. Messi just likes to have the ball whenever he can, and he'll do magical things with it. Ronaldo tries to do too much.
Well, I mean, he's the guy, though, right? And been that way for a long time.
He was the guy. They got some young stars now, but he's got to kind of let the reins go. But that's hard for him to do. I mean, if you're LeBron James, do you allow the young guys to take over? Or do you still try to do everything?
That's kind of like what it seems like LeBron goes through a little bit now anyway with his squads. Yep. Everybody thinks it's Luka's team in L.A., but LeBron is still there. You got to pay respect. You got to kiss the ring.
Kiss the ring.
Got to kiss the ring, baby.
So the United States has a date with Australia on Friday night, like you mentioned, Justin.
2 o'clock. 2 o'clock is the kickoff.
Oh, 2 o'clock. Okay, my bad.
Friday afternoon.
Friday afternoon, yeah, so that's my fault. I do want to mention, for anybody listening that might be like me, that doesn't know a whole lot about the sport but wants to get involved, I thought Ben Wright wrote a fantastic guide to the World Cup for 615 Soccer. So I would lead people there to kind of catch up on where this team is at going into this World Cup. But listen, I told you guys earlier, I got people in New York. I got people in Staten Island and the Jersey Shore. I got people in Australia, too. So there might be
you really?
There might be a family divided situation come Friday. But, yeah, my brother-in-law is an Aussie. My wife's sister married an Aussie.
You said that twice, like you Jimmy 2 times out here. You said brother-in-law?
Yeah, he's my wife's brother-in-law. He married my wife's sister, so he's my brother-in-law.
I've never heard that.
That's the first time I understood it. I just want to make sure we were clear on what you said right there, Stody.
We got that. The thing I was told about the Aussies, the people from Australia, is don't try to oi. I get in trouble if I left you hanging on that one.
Yeah,
I'd be hearing about it. I remember their wedding and going out for the bachelor party, and his family had flown in from Australia, and my wife pulled me aside and just kind of like grabbed me by the elbow, and she said, do not try to drink with the Aussies.
Don't drink with them.
Do not try to keep up with these Aussies tonight. Wow. And I had my buddy from Staten Island in the back of the van said, I'm here with a bunch of Aussies. Stoney's from the South. What's going to happen to me tonight? And I'll tell you, I tried to keep up with the Aussies, and I was puking port by the end of the night.
Really?
It ain't the Aussies are not to be trifled with, okay? So, Justin, what does the United States team have to do so that they're not puking port at the end of the night with the Aussies?
Well, they're already the better team. They're the best team in the Group D. They're honestly their biggest opponent was supposed to be Turkey. And I'm just going to be clear. It's so weird to say Turkey.
It is.
A couple of years ago, they switched from Turkey to Turkey, and it's still weird to say.
I can't. Yeah.
It doesn't feel
like nationally. That's what they're recognized as now.
It's
oh,
like
wow. Okay.
Garantano going to Garantano. I mean, it's just you're finding new ways
tomato.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
No, the forwards, the midfielders. There were some questions going into this World Cup because the U.S. has built more defensively, and they're led by Christian Pulisic. But yeah, their biggest opponent was supposed to be Turkey, but Australia found a way to have a solid 2-0 win on Saturday, and I think their best thing is they're going to have to keep going with Ballangum. And I hope I'm saying that correctly.
Probably not.
I hope
it
so
sounded
too.
convincing.
It works for me. I'm not going to stop you.
They were electric. Their forwards were electric on Friday. And they need to keep that train going. And of course, you're going to have the home crowd that's at your disposal there. So they're going to be playing in Seattle at Lumen Field on Friday afternoon. So the home of the 12. Hopefully, the 12 show up because they're going to need them. And I think the U.S. they're going to be favored in this game, and the way that they hold possession is going to be key here.
Fair enough. Well, one thing that I can weigh in on when we're dissecting the World Cup here is the food, the cuisine, that apparently people are traveling from all over the world.
Yes.
And they're trying things like biscuits and gravy.
Have you been following Freddie on
I have been following Freddie, yeah. Have you seen the meme? It's the man laying facing the nightstand and the woman laying next to him looking at him and saying, oh, he's probably thinking about other women. And over the man, it just says, I wonder what American institution Freddie's going to try next.
Yeah.
Freddie got to visit the New Orleans Saints, the New Orleans Pelicans.
Yes, he did. LSU. He went to Death Valley.
He made it to Houston, and like J.J. Watt's hooking him up with stuff now. Can you imagine? Like he's
got a signed jersey.
He did.
He can't go back to Germany now.
Did you see the penthouse that they gifted them?
Yeah.
$150,000 a night.
Man.
In Houston.
It even had its own basketball court.
Yeah.
How about that?
Insane. You asked us this question last night. We kind of went a little dark, and then we brought it back to life a little bit. You said, what American cuisine would you discover sooner if you had known anything about it?
Yeah.
Parmesan truffle fries.
Oh, man.
And, there's no way around it. Like, that's it. You got it on your menu. Me and the family probably going to order them.
Yeah, I went with the Texas cheesesteak burrito from Buc-ee's.
Texas cheesesteak burrito.
Buc-ee's is fantastic. I mean, you can look at my build and you could be like, that's a dude. That's a dude that loves
If
Buc-ee's.
he says it, then it's true.
So every time we go in there, it doesn't matter if we're on the road at 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to go over there and see if they've got any of the Texas cheesesteak burritos. And just to experience that again for the first time, that's bliss for me.
Yeah.
What would yours be, Justin?
Mine was, so I started off saying, do we realize how much sugar is put into these sweets and candy and all the desserts that we eat on a daily basis?
I will say, you mentioned one, though. You said sugar cookies. Like the name is sugar cookies.
Right.
Though.
Yeah.
But when you put that into a head, though, you think about the sugar, you kind of blow that out of the water and say, you know what, just give me all the chocolate lava cakes that I can handle.
Chocolate lava cakes.
There you go.
Elite.
That is the decadent of, that is my delicacy.
I have to say,
Applebee's has a fantastic chocolate lava cake.
That's an A+ drop by you right there, by the way.
No free shout.
That's college survival right there.
Cake. I will take that.
Yep, 2 for $20 at Applebee's. Yes, absolutely.
Hey, no free shout outs, but Applebee's. Applebee's, yeah.
Love me some.
Oh, man. I do want to give a special thanks before we get out of here for this break. Shout out to Fight DMD.
Yes.
To donate, visit fightdmd.com. A few more of our beverage sponsors out here today: Sailor Jerry Spiced Rum, Leaper's Fork Distillery, and Miller Lite. Can't go wrong there. We are going to be back talking, maybe we shift gears and talk a little Titans here at this point. I don't know. We got a lot going on this morning. We are just going where the breeze takes us on Ramon and Will. Stoney Keeley filling in for Will Bowling. We'll be right back on 104.5 The Zone after this.
It's Ramon Foster from Medical House Calls, man. It is healthcare designed for your life. You may be on the golf course. You may be downtown Nashville. You may be in Lebanon. You may be in Hendersonville. Guess what? They will come to you, man. They're available to you 7 days a week from Monday through Sunday, of course, from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. They do everything from primary health care to urgent care, IV therapy, and medical weight loss. The cool part is they're bringing back the concierge to medicine. If you have an issue that you don't want to go sit in urgent care for, or you just don't like going to the emergency room, well, guess what? They will come to you. I've used them myself. They came directly to my house and administered me an IV. I felt a little sickness coming on. Next day, boom, it was gone. These are the things that they can do for you. But I'm here to tell you, it's not just that. For a flat fee, you can get an evaluation, which we all need. You can get a full exam. You can get treatment plan and prescriptions if you need it. Yes, these are not just regular regular people that are coming by. These are real doctors and nurses that come to you and can administer these types of things. Of course, the website is medicalhousecalls.com, or you can call or text them, and they'll get back to you quickly at 615-838-2375.
Buying or selling a home in Middle Tennessee is a big challenge. It's a challenge anywhere, as hot as the real estate market is here in Nashville. Are you positive you're getting the best value from your home if you're selling? Well, Bernie Gallerani can get you that value. What's up? It's Will Bowling. Bernie Gallerani guarantees to sell your home in 30 days or less, or he'll buy it. Yeah, there's no risk to you. No catch. Bernie will let you out of the contract at any time. He is the real estate agent who has the 30-day guarantee to sell your home, and if not, he will buy it from you. Some restrictions may apply, but he is going to get you top dollar for your home. That's what Bernie Gallerani and his team do. They'll take care of the little things. They'll take care of the process. They'll take the stress out of moving. If you're interested in finding out more, and you should be if you're moving here in Middle Tennessee, check him out online at BernieGallerani.com. You can call him directly on his cell phone at 615-428-2644. Get the 30-day guarantee by going online to BernieGallerani.com. 615-428-2644. That's Bernie Gallerani Real Estate online at BernieGallerani.com.
Ramon and Will on 104.5 The Zone. Stoney Keeley filling in for Will Bowling today. I knew I was going to do it. I always do feeling and filling. I mix those two up for some reason. We're out here at Nashville Golf and Athletic Club. It is the 2026 installment of 104.5 The Zone's Golf Classic presented by Ferguson. It's a beautiful morning. I mean, we could not have asked for better weather out here today. We got some golfing going on now too, so people are out playing. Like it's a good time, man. It's a good day to be good, as
no
they
doubt.
say.
It is,
as they
man.
say.
What an awesome day. This weekend was like hot 90s, and today we get like a 77, 80 day.
Yeah, brother.
It's because of you, Stoney.
I was out at the Nashville Zoo. Well, I'm happy to help. I was out at the Nashville Zoo yesterday. No free shout-outs except for the zoo and Applebee's.
No, apparently, according to Big Boss Bert, we can shout them out.
Oh, we can?
He loves
okay.
him. Yes.
Okay. I was out there yesterday. My wife's birthday was Friday night, so happy birthday, baby.
Happy birthday.
Still, 4 days in a row we are celebrating. But that's my queen. She earned it. She deserves it. So we had a nice dinner Friday night. My mama took us out to a nice brunch on Saturday, and then a couple of friends of mine took us out to the zoo with their little one yesterday, and I logged about 11,000 steps out in that 90-degree heat or whatever it was yesterday. And you know what they say? It's not the heat, it's the humidity, and that's what got me. My shirt, my drawers were soaking wet by the time we left, and I was about to take that joke a little too far. It's still 8:30 in the morning.
This ain't football, another F word.
I'd like to be invited back sometime, so I'll pull that punch real quick.
For sure.
I was dog tired when we got home last night, and so I didn't get to watch a lot of the Carolina-Vegas Stanley Cup final. Carolina Hurricanes win the Stanley Cup. I want to do this for Vandy Man in the chat because he's asking about you, Justin. He says, Jayhawk, let's go Canes. That was a dominant performance. Justin, you want to give us a Stanley Cup final minute on the Carolina Hurricanes, the new NHL champions?
Yeah, me and Vandy Man both agreed that we both did not want Vegas to win because it's just not fair that you've only been in the league for 9 years and you've already won the Stanley Cup, and you don't get to do it again. No, you've had your time. Let the other people do it. Carolina wins it for the first time in 20 years, first time since 2006. What's a funny story is, it's not really funny, but the head coach, Rod Brindamore, was the captain of that 2006 Carolina Hurricanes team.
Wow, how about that?
The captain of this Carolina Hurricanes team, Jordan Stahl, wins the Conn Smythe Trophy for the playoff MVP. Scored a goal in 5 consecutive games in the finals, which set a record. He is the first player in Stanley Cup final history to win it after a 17-year drought. Won it back in 2009 with the Pittsburgh Penguins. There you go, Ramon. Shout out Pittsburgh.
How about that?
I'm a Tennessean.
No, so this was a.
I don't know. People have run rampant with that location.
We were talking a lot about the New York Knicks this morning and the series that was with them and the Spurs.
There go Balls, baby!
This was also a very fun series, a very defensive series that was supposed to have a lackluster amount of goals, but instead there was an average of 4 to 5 goals per team per game.
Oh, man.
There was just not a lot of good goalie activity. And in Game 3, when the Carolina Hurricanes decided to make the switch from Frederik Andersen to the rookie that's not classified as a rookie because he's technically too old to be classified as a rookie.
What's too old?
He's 27 years old. You have to be 26 years of age or younger.
What took him so long, if you don't mind me asking, to get to the pros?
He's just sometimes in hockey it's a process, and he spent some time in the minor league, spent some time in the ECHL, which is basically the adult version of junior hockey league, and it's the step below the minors. Sometimes it just takes a while. You're not very good, so you just got to build your way up. You got to get the reps, and he got his reps. But this is his first actual season as a backup in the NHL and delivers with a Stanley Cup final clinching series with 3-0 last night. Nice shutout. His first career playoff shutout. He made 22 saves. Carolina was just all over the puck last night. Defensively, offensively, didn't let Vegas have any room. There was a period of time on ice last night of 18 minutes and 40 seconds, I think is what it was, where Vegas did not get a shot on net.
Man, I was talking to my boy R-Hog. My boy R-Hog came over and watched Game 1 with me of Vegas and Carolina, and he just, I don't know what's going on watching the hockey, but I just asked him who he was going for. He's like, oh, it's Carolina. Like, nobody outside of Las Vegas is going for Las Vegas. And I said, why? And he explained to me why they've become such villains in the hockey world. It's like, this is still a new franchise that, like, doesn't know failure.
Exactly. Like, they've missed the playoffs once in their
existence. In their existence. And then he was going into a little bit of detail about how they're kind of ruthless with their players. Apparently, they fired their coach like 8 days before the
they did
playoffs.
Their head coach John Tortorella only coached in just a few games before the Stanley.
This year?
Yep.
Yeah.
He gets a ring still, doesn't he?
Why would he get a ring?
I think that because you're part.
They lost.
Yeah.
They lost.
Clearly wasn't paying attention to what I thought you was talking about. Carolina, dog.
No.
I'm like, what?
No, John Tortorella took over in the last few games of the season in April and coached his way to the Stanley Cup final. And, they were impressive, but they have a very expensive roster. They spent a lot of money. They've had a lot of trade compensation over the last few years to get to this point, to get back to when they won it back in 21, I think is what it was. But yeah, only missed the playoffs once in their existence. They weren't even supposed to make it this far. I mean, they were more of the Cinderella team, despite them having a pretty stacked roster. But at the end of the day, Carolina was the second best team in hockey this season outside of the Colorado Avalanche, who was beaten by the Vegas Golden Knights in the Western Conference Finals. And Carolina took it to them. Like I said, defensively, offensively.
You called it, though, last week. Yeah.
They're just the better team. I mean, they're the better team, right? So, like, the New York Knicks beat the Spurs because they're the better team, right? They play more as a team collectively. They have the better chemistry. That's what Carolina's done over the past 8 years. They've had struggles to make it even past the Eastern Conference Finals, and they finally got over the hump, and they ended up winning it all.
I kind of feel like I like my sports to have a villain in them, though.
I think it's necessary.
And I know it doesn't happen very often where there is a team that is just truly universally hated, but seeing this ordeal with the Vegas Golden Knights and, kind of knowing some of their history with Nashville, like they didn't, there's a little bit of friction between Preds fans, and I kind of like that. I kind of dig a little bit of that hate in the sport.
Well, when Vegas was introduced into the league in the summer of 2018, because after the Preds made it to the Stanley Cup final, that was that offseason where they had the expansion draft.
Yeah.
The Predators lost James Neal in the expansion draft to the Golden Knights, and they immediately had good connections. They made the playoffs their opening year, which was bizarre. And then but yeah, Vegas is universally hated because it's not supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be able to get that kind of a roster.
I kind of push back on that a little bit, though, because they changed
the rules. Yeah, so they changed the rules. I have to look it up.
I heard they changed the rules, but
so like you can protect 8 skaters and a goaltender, or you can protect 6 offensive skaters and 3 defensive skaters or whatever. Well, it used to be you protect a lot more, so all you're left with is a bunch of fourth liners that you're trying to put them in. You're going to build your roster up. It's going to take a couple of years, and then maybe you're going to be competitive. Well, no, Vegas got second liners. They got some first liners who the teams didn't want to pay. They didn't want to protect them because they like the younger guys or they like their already elite forwards that they want to keep.
That seems like a them problem.
Well, it's just the way the rules worked, and it just worked in Vegas' favor. They took advantage of it. It was the first of its kind in this kind of manipulation of the rules, and Vegas, to their credit, was fantastic with it.
But we can't feel sorry for teams that choose not to do that, though. Like, free agency is a part of like teams and leagues for a reason, though, right? Like there is that part of it as well. So you're telling me that they were able to go steal some second liners. Like I know like the idea that there's a salary cap in most leagues except for MLB at this point. But if you felt like it was an extra like $2 million that could have kept one of your second liners, like don't you do that? Like how aggressive do you need to be to make sure that your guys are protected? Like ownership plays a part in this as well. Or GM say, well, I'll find another one. Well, finding another one was really hard sometimes when you have it in-house already. Let go of some of the young guys and go with the win-now mode, and this is kind of what my mindset has kind of shifted into. Like, I believe in building up through the draft and homegrown talent, and you must protect those guys. Pay them early. Get them locked in. Secure them. And I know the expansion draft is probably a little bit different than what I'm making it seem. I'm making it seem like it was free agency. But if you chose not to protect your second-line guys you knew could go help another team, well, clearly they weren't on your first line. So there was opportunity there, I felt like, for teams to secure them.
Okay, so back in 1998, when the Predators were first introduced into the league, here's the rules. The teams could protect either one goalie, 5 defensemen, and 9 forwards, or 2 goalies, 3 defensemen, 7 forwards. You fast forward 20 years later, they changed. It's now 7 forwards, 3 defensemen, and a goaltender, so you have a little bit less that you can protect. So what they're doing is they're prioritizing. I've got my top 3 forwards that I want to protect. I've got my top 4 defensemen that I want to protect, and I've got my top goaltender that I want to protect. Everything else is up for grabs. Where back then in 1998, there was more forwards, more skaters that you could protect, leaving literally just your worst players on option.
So it's kind of like equating the roster math. It's like a really deep loaded team. And I remember this. I remember Preds fans being kind of upset because this opened the pathway for Vegas to claim James Neal. Mm-hmm. But imagine like going to, if there's expansion in the NFL and you go out and you go to the Rams and you say you can only protect 5 players. Yep. Well, that 6th player is still going to be a pretty doggone good player.
Could be Trent McDuffie.
Yeah, so, and then all of a sudden you've got like an all-pro caliber cornerback, and Rams fans are ticked off, and they're going to hold a grudge against you for a decade.
I get that. Okay, I can understand it. But, again, the retired version of myself has kind of leaned more into the idea that some teams just don't try. You know, like, or like sometimes I would say you can be too lucky in who you pick up. Like, I don't want to say like getting a 5th or 6th round draft pick to turn into an all-pro isn't just good scouting. I do think there's luck in that as well, and it's hard to hit on those guys year after year after year after year. So I get the conversation as into not believing like, oh, this guy's going to turn into an all-pro, but there's also the other side too, and I can understand the fans' point. And saying, well, the league helped you get to this point because the league with a Vegas team with that type of market probably wanted them to be good.
Yeah. Well, and to Justin's point, it's like they changed the rules ahead of this expansion draft. So it looks, like you said, it looks like the league is saying, hey, we want Vegas to be good right out of the gate.
To kind of give Vegas a little bit of the credit, I mean, they found the diamonds in the rough.
Yeah.
They found first-line forwards in second-line, third-line guys. They did find a way, and then since then, they've been able to use their cap space effectively, and they won their Stanley Cup after 4 seasons in the league.
But there's been a team that's been on a tear as of late in the NHL, though, right? Like the Tampa Bay Lightning. What you say about what
they've been good for years.
Okay, so that's it. That's my issue.
They're maintaining it.
But how can we accept them being good for years when they have the same?
They were good when they started. Vegas went 0 to 100.
I know, but like here's the thing, though, too.
Without
like,
even
as far as let's remove Vegas from it, then, like, and just as far as the platform that Tampa Bay has. Every other team in the NHL has that as well. So what's preventing them from getting to that point? Is it bad coaching? Is it bad offseason management? Bad contracts? Because, again, the way I view pro sports, the bad teams get good draft picks. The good teams got to find a way to survive. And you mean to tell me that Tampa Bay has survived this long and nobody bats an eye on what they're capable of doing, though, too? Unless I'm wrong on what their personnel is.
Yeah, it starts with good draft picks because in hockey, when you get past the first round, they don't really play for 2 to 3 seasons because of development reasons. It's kind of like baseball draft at that point. You go into the minor leagues for a little while. You have to develop. But they've had good draft picks. They've had, or at least their first-round talent. They've had good free agency acquisitions. But then if you look to the Preds, it kind of goes back to our 8-8 conversation with the new GM and president of Hockey Ops and the owner, Bill Haslam. What they said in their press conference a couple weeks ago is, what are you okay with? Tampa Bay's not okay with 8-8. They're not okay with that middle-of-the-road season of, oh, are we going to be a wild card? Are we going to make it into the playoffs and just scrape by? Oh, yeah, we have a chance. Well, that's what the Predators have done. Well, no, you have to set yourself back and say, you're ready for a rebuild, and the only way to go forward is to take a step back, find a way to offload these contracts, get better draft picks, because they have a lot of draft compensation, the Predators do, and how can they move forward? With Vegas, they were just introduced into the league on a hot start. They got the forwards. They've had a lot of cap space. They were able to utilize these diamonds in the rough as well as their huge amount of cap space because they got these guys on cheap contracts at the beginning.
Bibbity in our YouTube chat says that as well. Said Tampa was also able to use loopholes in the roster construction too.
It's kind of like the whole cap conversation. you know how people say the cap's not real because you can use roster bonuses and you
Right.
can use guarantees and find a way to lower the cap hits. They would do the same thing. There's a thing in hockey where if they're on injured reserve, they don't count against the cap. So going into playoff time, if one of your top forwards is making $8 million a year and you go into the playoffs and he's on injured reserve, he doesn't count against your playoff roster against the cap because he's not available.
How about that?
Come on, teach me then. Come on, just show me the light then, okay?
On the other side of this Stanley Cup final, we have the champion Carolina Hurricanes, who I've heard have like the closest thing you can get to an SEC fan base in the NHL. Is like, that's the place, Raleigh. These birds are getting awfully brave, by
There's
the way.
so many insects in the area. They're swooping, aren't they?
Yeah, they ain't coming on my body. I got all this fur. They ain't no bugs on me they're going to pick off. So, Carolina Hurricanes, good tailgating environment down there in Raleigh. It almost kind of feels like the juxtaposition of the superhero versus the supervillain in this series. And to a lot of people in this country, in the hockey fan base, the good guys probably won that series. You think that's fair to say?
They were very deserving. They've been on the up and up in the last, like I was saying, 8+ seasons, and they finally got over the hump. Did you see their watch party inside their arena in Carolina?
No, I didn't.
It was absolutely packed like it was a home game last night. But it was obviously
crazy.
in Raleigh, North Carolina versus the game was actually in Vegas. But their arena was packed out. The Nashville Predators back in 2017 kind of introduced what a mass watch party is.
Yeah.
And now they're introducing into filling the arenas out, and it was kind of a fun sight to see.
Well, hey, I do want to give a special thanks to Southern Trophy House for providing awards and apparel out here today. Shout out to Reka Vodka as well. Uncle Bud's is going to be out here later as well. So it is going to be a day out here at Nashville Golf and Athletic Club. We are here for 104.5 The Zone's 2026 Golf Classic presented by Ferguson. We're going to take a quick break, and then we are going to shift gears and talk some Tennessee Titans. Stoney Keeley filling in for Will Bowling this morning. It's Ramon and Will. We'll be right back after this.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%. Most people are only making minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. What's up? It's Will Bowling. Many homeowners don't realize you can use the equity in your home, easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you could pay off your credit cards, that existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. And one client, she's got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. Here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out of pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage, rates are at near 3-year lows, so act now. Go to loanpronto.com, see how much you can get in about 60 seconds. That's Loan Pronto with 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 615-499-5780 or visit loanpronto.com. Call them at 615-499-5780 or online at loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Back here on Ramon and Will on 104.5 The Zone. Stoney Keeley filling in for Will Bowling this morning. We are live out here at Nashville Golf and Athletic Club for 104.5 The Zone's 2026 installment of the Golf Classic presented by Ferguson. Ramon Foster with me, Justin Hawkins, Kirby's out here. Everybody's working their tails off this morning. We are having a good one. The golf is going. The day is beautiful. It is a fine day to get outside and enjoy yourself. Yeah, get out of that office. Nobody likes an office on a day like today.
Not on a day like today. No, absolutely not, man. I've had a good time. We've breezed through 3 hours of this show, Stoney and Hawk, and hadn't even how much, if we can just go behind the glass a little bit, how much have we not talked about that was on the script?
Let's see. So I jotted down 8 talking points, I believe. 8 talking points that I wanted to get through, and we've gotten through 2 of them. We've gotten through Knicks Spurs. We've gotten through World Cup.
Yeah.
I didn't even have Carolina Hurricanes. I didn't even have us reliving the history of the expansion draft in the NHL on the agenda for today, but we got through it. I was going to ask you, Ramon, are you surprised that we're going up against hour number 4 here, and we still haven't really talked about the Titans all that much?
We haven't, man. I'm a little surprised, but it's the offseason. Minicamp's coming up tomorrow, though, too.
Yeah.
So it'll be, at some point we'll rap about it. Are we going to talk about it in 9, or are we going to save it till later?
The 2 about the coaching staff, we're going to get to those today.
Yeah, okay, all right. That's a must we talk about it today.
Maybe.
Maybe we drop something in the bucket, man.
We got something else. I'm going to be back doing this again on Thursday. Not at the golf course. I'll be in the studio.
We'll be in building, yeah.
Unless, I don't know, Kirby, what are you doing Thursday? You want to bring us back out here? Do you think?
He's at See, that's the thing. When we've been the Titans color, I can't even go inside of there.
Oh, dang. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, that's one live remote that we don't have to worry about right there.
There you go. Well, it is a beautiful day out here. This has been wonderful. It's been a good time. I am of the philosophy, hey, if a conversation's going well, you just let that joker breathe.
Just let it roll.
Don't put out the fire, and that's what we've been doing this morning. If we didn't have that philosophy, we would not have gotten that good little nugget about the Vegas Golden Knights and the Carolina Hurricanes.
No.
We got a whole segment out of that.
We really did, Hawk. Appreciate you on that one, man. That was tough. That was absolutely phenomenal, man.
The MVP so far this morning. So let's at least present the topic and talk about it a little bit, because we are going to have to get to break again soon, but eyes on the clock, man. We're professionals here doing this. You brought this up to me, Ramon, when I was like, hey, what do you want to talk about? I'm getting my notes together, and I go to you for feedback. I'm like, what do you just really want to get into? And you brought up a question to me that I thought was so good, so rich, especially for this time of the year. Guys on this Titans roster that could actually benefit from the coaching change. Because, like we've talked about it before, the stigma is new regime, they want their guys in.
Yeah.
But I do think there is an interesting core of players that we will talk about this morning that could actually endear themselves to the new coaching staff.
Yeah.
Guys that have talent, guys that may be looking for a new role, but guys that could really thrive under a new coaching staff. So big picture wise, what I'm curious about is the balance, because we see these quick turnarounds with a coaching change, but then we also see situations where it takes time. So in your opinion, like what is that balance, and how do you place expectations on the 2026 Titans with the coaching change? Do you think this is a situation that could be turned around quickly, or is this one where you're going to be preaching patience again?
I think you have to preach patience. There's only so many. There's been so many teams. There's not been so many teams that have done what the Patriots have done. And I hate that it happened for the Patriots the way it did, because there's a straight, direct connection between Mike Vrabel and the Tennessee Titans.
Sure.
And that expectations, I think, was going to fall on fans. And I think will cause Robert Saleh and his staff to be judged unfairly, because, hey, he did it in year 1, and he was here, and you should do it, and he had a second-year quarterback, and all of those situations right there fall in suit. But again, we hit on this, and it kind of funny is coming to this conversation right now because, again, luck goes into this. Scheduling goes into this. The Titans played a fourth-place schedule last year, but every team that was in fourth place was better. Yeah. Denver was better.
Yeah.
Think about it. The Patriots were better. Everybody that you played was better in almost every facet of the game, except for probably Cleveland and except for the Cardinals. Like, legitimately, it was those teams right there. And that's where, as a fan, and as somebody that's now covering this team directly, I would temper expectations. Do I have a number in my head in which I think they could get above? Yeah, because I think the floor has been raised for this squad. But championships are built over the long haul, I feel.
Yeah.
Aaron Donald was in year 8 when he got his. Think about how much purgatory that he went through just to get to that point and reach the mountaintop as well. So I'm preaching again because I've watched this team now going into year 6. Like, it's middle of the road expectations until you get to the point where you can boast and brag about having your guys grow up a little bit. And I honestly look at it and say, I think Cam's era is the era that you need to be focused on, and hopefully hopefully Big Jeff can drag everybody else with them to show them what it means to win.
Yeah, and I don't want to discredit the job that Mike Vrabel did with New England year 1 as their head coach, but to something we talked about earlier, a little bit of luck. Yeah. And then you talk about the convergence of events that need to happen in order for a team like that to turn things around so quickly and go on the run that they did to the Super Bowl. It's like people discredit the job that Josh McDaniel did with that offense as the offensive coordinator. You look at Drake May taking the second-year leap. You look at a free agency class where it aligned perfectly with what the New England Patriots needed. Sure you need a defensive a guy that can make a difference on the defensive line. It just so happens Milton Williams is available.
Yep.
You need an edge rusher. Well, your guy Harold Landry is available. You need some linebackers. You need a cornerback. Like, they were able to rebuild that defense so quickly because, man, it's like, going shopping with infinite money in your pockets, right? Whatever you want, you're going to get in that kind of market. And they've drafted pretty well. I know New England fans might disagree with me on that, but the pieces they've added in the draft, they've made smart additions. Like, it's so much more than Mike Vrabel. And again, I'm not trying to denigrate his name or anything like that. I'm just saying, on the surface, it's easy to say Mike Vrabel turned the Patriots around, but really, there's a lot going on. And that's where you look at the Titans situation, and can those things happen for this team? That list is long. I mean, to be fair, where they're at in this rebuild, that list is pretty long.
It really is.
Can they get there? That is the question. So we're going to take a quick break. I do want to give a shout-out to some of our beverage sponsors here, Coors Light, Topo Chico Hard Seltzer, and Yazoo Brewing Company. We are out here at Nashville Golf and Athletic Club. Stoney Keeley filling in for Will Bowling at the 2026 Golf Classic presented by Ferguson. This is Ramon and Will on 104.5 The Zone. We'll be right back.
It's Ramon and Will here for Window Nation. Man, if your air conditioner never seems to turn off, which is a problem, or worn out windows could be the culprit, broken seals and old frames let your cool air escape. And with the summer just getting started, it's only going to get hotter. Well, y'all need to act now before your energy bills skyrocket through the roof. And we don't need those type of issues, man. We got summer vacations to deal with, Will. We're trying to be outside and keep our cold air inside our homes.
Yeah, that cool air from our AC units needs to stay inside. That way your home stays cool and your energy bills don't skyrocket. So take advantage of Window Nation's Buy 4 Windows, Get 4 free sale going on now. You can replace all the windows in your home and get half of them for free. You can also get 0 down payment and no payments or interest for 2 years by heading online to windownation.com. Buy 4 windows, get 4 free, and hurry because this sale ends soon online at windownation.com.
9:02, good morning, live from the Nashville Golf and Athletic Club for the 104.5 The Zone Golf Classic. I'm Justin Hawkins. The drought's over, and the New York Knicks are NBA champions for the first time since 1973. They beat the Spurs Game 5 Saturday night, 94-90. Point guard Jalen Brunson is the Finals MVP as he set a Knicks NBA Finals record by scoring 45 points in Game 5. He averaged 32 points in the Finals. The drought's also over for the Carolina Hurricanes as they're Stanley Cup champions for the first time since 2006. They shut out the Golden Knights 3-0 Sunday night. Brandon Boosie recorded his first career playoff shutout. He stopped all 22 shots faced, and the captain, Jordan Stahl for the Hurricanes, took home the Conn Smythe Trophy for playoff MVP as he tallied 12 points in 18 games. Some NFL news this morning. The Jets and standout guard Joe Tipman has agreed to terms on a big 4-year contract extension that's worth $66.4 million and $34.9 million guaranteed per Ian Rappaport. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Back here for hour number 4 of Ramon and Will on 104.5 The Zone. I missed it. I missed the Burt show. Show. I could see him move, and I tell you what, that's enough to captivate my attention. He's out here singing, he's dancing, he's having a good time.
He's got a golf cart.
Who gave Burt a golf cart?
I have no idea. Look at him.
Y'all gonna look up later and just see me hung on to the back of that thing, just waving.
Yeah, just steering it.
Out in the lake.
Out in the
Kirby
lake.
says out in the lake.
Out in the lake, baby.
We are having a good time out here at the Nashville Golf and Athletic Club in beautiful Brentwood, Tennessee. It is a beautiful, beautiful morning. Some golfing going on out here. Of course, we're at 104.5 The Zone's 2026 Golf Classic presented by Ferguson. Man, I'm seeing that Nash Dogs is going to be out here today. Were y'all? I know the office got some Nash Dogs last week. I went in for football and other F words. I got there a little late. And so I missed out on the Nash Dogs, but everybody was posting about them. They look so good. So
I bet they were.
Yeah.
I bet they were. You know what we get in the morning?
What's that?
Nothing.
No? Hey,
Nothing.
Listen.
Whatever we bring in.
Whatever we bring in. Exactly.
Full of energy. That's all we got today.
Full of energy and setting the stage. That's what we get in the mornings, Brother Stoney.
There we go. We are we're going to talk about the Titans a little bit and how this coaching staff, the change could affect guys on the roster. We're kind of talking big picture before we get into our names a little bit. And I'm curious, Ramon, correct me if I'm wrong, like you never underwent a head coaching change in the NFL, did you?
Not a head coach.
Yeah. So I don't know if you can speak to just the general turnover of a coaching staff, like the impact that has on a locker room. From your vantage point, what does that look like?
I think this, and having had one head coach, what you do know that you don't have to deal with is the expectations.
Yeah.
The expectations remain the same. I knew that training camp was going to be a certain way. I knew that, hey, if you're above the line more than you are below the line, you had a chance. I knew what style the coach was looking for. I knew the systems that he enjoyed watching. I knew the type of players that he wanted inside of the locker room. When you change coaches, the reason we're having this conversation, you reset all of that.
Yeah.
Not that you, as a player, question, how do I survive? But you do.
Yeah.
You ask the question, like, how do I survive, Stoney, in a regular workforce when a new boss comes in? Like, think about what the worker's mindset is. The employee's mindsets are, oh, my gosh, what are we going to do?
Am I going to make it?
Am I going to make it?
Yeah.
Because change usually comes with those with those new executives. And in our world, sports head coaches. Like, even at the high school level, like, is this a scheme that the coach want to run offensively and defensively? The player types. What if you have I'll just go to Derek Dooley. Not Derek Dooley, but Butch Jones era. At the University of Tennessee. Butch Jones era, the way I saw them,
brick by brick.
Brick by brick. Like, it's that type of stuff. Like, what does that mean? As long as I'm just bricking up, like, this is what is all it means? Pause.
I was going to let it go.
I lost my words there. Okay, but what I'm getting at is this: he went from more of a slender, athletic offensive lineman, defensive line. We want speed. We want quickness. And then you realize when you're getting your butts handed to you, and like, no, the next coach comes in, he want big body guys. Like he want boulders. He want people to move folks around. He want those stopgap type of defensive linemen. And when you have a new head coach, that personnel may change. Like, I look at certain teams, like there's always a contingency of safe guys.
Right.
Jeffrey Simmons on anybody's roster, he's safe.
Anybody's roster in any sport, Jeffrey Simmons is probably safe.
He's safe, right?
Yeah.
But the other 95% of the roster doesn't really fit sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what you don't have to worry about when you have one head coach, is the stability. The messaging is the same. The expectations, usually if they remain your head coach, is still there. And you know how, as a player, how to navigate that as well. And the only reason I bring up the messaging part is when a coach can be at a spot long enough to establish what their goals are, that's when, and I think it might be lightly unfair to Brian Callahan, but that's when the locker room can start running the team.
Sure.
Because now we know what the coach wants.
So I'm looking at a situation where this is going to be a pretty different defensive style of play from what Denard Wilson was running. And when you have a certain style of defense you want to play, you have certain roles that you want to fill, you have a certain player that you want in those roles, those are the kind of guys that got to be kind of looking around like, well, where's my place in all this? So how do you, from the player's perspective, how do you approach that situation? Because on one hand, you still got to be true to yourself to a certain extent, right? Like, you got to do the things that you're good at in order to stand out. But at the same time, is there anything that crosses your mind in that situation where it's like, I've got to play the way this coach wants me to play, or else I'm not going to get noticed in training camp or in mini camp throughout the summer?
There is a component of football where if I'm more physical and I'm more of a dog than a person across from me more times than not, then I got a chance to survive either with this team or another 31 other teams around the league. So there's that component of it too. But I've never, and I'm not bragging when I say this, but I've never had to pack my bags and move cities.
Right.
So I don't know what that lifestyle is like for guys that have to get a moving truck, remove the furniture. If they got kids and a wife in said city, moving them, what does that mean? Like, that's traumatic for your kids, I'm sure. So there's that side of it. If I'm good enough, then I'm good enough. And there's nothing you can do about it. It's just a matter of how long can I survive?
Right.
That's the other part of it, though, too, because when I mentioned the survival part of it, like, immediately, whether it was Mike Gonzi or whether it was Chad Brinker, but just two guys in general, and one going into this offseason. But let's look at Jarvis Brownlee's situation.
Yeah.
Mike Borgonzi doesn't seem like he was that type or the person that and I'm not saying that's good or bad. It's just that, man, we appreciate you. I see a lot in you, Jarvis, but it ain't going to work for us. I'm going to trade you. Like, that's a part of this NFL business, too. And the other one is going into the offseason. I think we all were blown back to T'Vondre Sweat.
Yeah.
He didn't even get a rep, Stoney, with this group.
Yeah, and I don't know. Yeah,
and I'm not saying it's bad.
I don't know what was going on there because he kind of struck me as a guy that you want to give a chance at least. I think he's played that well enough. He's shown in moments when he's on, he was good. And I know people say what they want to about the guy.
Yeah.
The player, I never had a bad impression from T'Vondre Sweat, and it sounded like they were willing to make it work. The coaches in the pressers and stuff sounded like they were willing to make it work with him, but then they found a trade opportunity and they executed upon that opportunity, and then they said, well, we wanted, maybe not necessarily the best fit.
I think his was style and philosophy, though.
Yeah.
Look at like, if they could have made it work, and they probably thought that from the outside looking in until they got inside of the building. Like, just look at Gus Bradley's and Robert Saleh's like defensive players.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you've been to a practice yet, but Coach White Cotton, he demands a lot. He demands a lot of running. He demands a lot of explosive. He demands a lot of just violence on each and every play. And I think what you saw and what I saw is in a traditional defense where, man, that's a big body guy and Savondre Sweat, and boy, he could work and be a stopgap. I don't think they care about the stopgap. Yeah. I think they just want torpedoes.
I think
not bombs.
The thing was, going back to his tape on Texas too, is like he had moments where he was really good with his hands and he could really attack the shoulder. And if he could get a guy turned around, then he could be a force as far as interior pressure goes, and getting to quarterbacks. And I think the idea was, okay, he's got a base as a really good stopgap run defender, but if we can tap into what he was doing at Texas, attacking the shoulders, rotating offensive linemen, getting after the quarterback, then we've really tapped into something special. And I think for his tenure with the Titans, I'm not sure we ever really saw him get to that point where he was proving that he could be an attacking style defensive tackle in the NFL.
Which is why Coach Sal and his staff elected probably to kind of move on from that situation, though. But this is what happens when you have coaching changes. I think under Denard Wilson, he cooks, he eats. He gets an opportunity to grow a little bit more. But when you have philosophies change from the head coach down, there's one thing with a coordinator. We'll have that conversation possibly Thursday if you want to.
Yeah.
The differences in coordinators and what it means for you as well. But there's a life in which coaches and new GMs, and Mike Borgonzi's in that role freshly now, want a team to look a certain way. They have certain players that they want on their teams. Like I knew that in the CJ2K era, I didn't fit the Tennessee Titans running style.
Interesting.
I did not. I didn't fit Houston, Texas's running style. The outside zone scheme, I'm a gap scheme, inside zone offensive lineman.
There you go.
And I knew that. The teams that courted me coming out of the NFL draft were the Jets, the Browns, the Ravens, the Steelers, like the Bengals. Like I fit their styles, and that's where when you look at the draft picks that come in, especially this year, I see Keldrick Falk. That to me reminds me of Eric Armstead, DeForest Buckner.
Yeah, that build, that prototype
that they brought in this year. You look at Anthony Hill Jr.
Yeah.
Reminds you, of course, Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw, the guys he's had in there. Like the game plans are there. And if you are one of these players who I have on my list, I'm not telling you to look over your shoulder. But when I said earlier, like I can control my own fate, you better go be violent as hell and at least give yourself an opportunity.
So that's ultimately where we're headed with this conversation, is that it still feels like there are a few of these type of players hanging around on this roster going into the summer. So if you want to kick us off, Ramon, who's the guy you've got at the top of your list of guys that are in danger of being left behind after this coaching change?
The first guy on my list, and we'll keep the best for last on this one, Jalen Harrell.
Oh,
I like Jalen. I played football with Jalen's cousin, Marcus Gilbert, in Pittsburgh. They're cousins. Jalen's an awesome dude. Don't say much, works hard, has had some production, but when you look at the philosophy of size, style, speed, etc., it seems to me like there's been guys that are around him that can make it very hard for him to make this team. And I have it like this as far as Jalen Harrell. I know we're up against the break and we'll have I got two more guys on this list, but Jalen Harrell's 32 games with 2 starts, 4.5 sacks, and all of those came last year.
Yeah.
Okay, so he had a good second-year jump.
Well, and there was a stretch of 5 games in a row where he had at least half a sack in every game.
No doubt about it. Like this isn't bad for him, but there's a new coach.
Right.
There's a new regime. There's a new defensive philosophy behind it. It seems to me a different type that they're looking forward to. 38 total tackles, 7 tackles for loss. He was drafted in 2024 under the old regimes. Under the old regime. Now, here's the issue that I bring up. New guys in his position. Keldrick Falk, he's here. Jacob Martin, who's a savvy veteran around the league. I think he's in the year 6 or 9. I forget which one it was. Jermaine Johnson, who they traded for.
Right.
Look at the size and length on these guys. Long-rangey guys, right? Jordan Elliott, and also Malik Herring, who was originally brought in by Borgonzi in Kansas City, who's also a 2-time Super Bowl winning champ with that team.
Yeah, so it's a crowded room.
It's a crowded room. And Jalen's a part of the old regime. He's made some plays. He started a couple times last year as well. And as a player, you don't count numbers on the roster. Like we always say, don't count numbers. Don't count numbers. Well, it's kind of hard not to, Coach, when I'm getting only 2 reps per practice and you're only playing me late in the 4th quarter.
Right, yeah.
Like I have to, and this is just my former player side that I couldn't talk about as a player because you never wanted to be that skittish about your safety. But just mentioning those guys that were brought in this year.
Man, all right, that's a great That's a great starting point for this because I want to get into Jalen Harrell a little bit more. We'll do so on the other side of this break. Special thanks to our prize sponsors out here today, the Atlanta Braves, the Tennessee Titans, and Nashville SC. We are live at Nashville Golf and Athletic Club for 104.5 The Zone's 2026 Golf Classic presented by Ferguson. I'm Stoney Keeley filling in for Will Bowling. Coming up, we're going to talk more Titans here on Ramon and Will right after this. All right, we are back here on Ramon and Will. Waist deep in offensive line talk. We just don't take a second off.
No.
You get the two of us together. So I'm Stoney Keeley, filling in for Will Bowling this morning. We are live out here at Nashville Golf and Athletic Club for 104.5 The Zone's 2026 Golf Classic, presented by Ferguson. It is a beautiful, beautiful morning in Brentwood, Tennessee. Listen, this is one of those days. We said it earlier. You got to get out of the office today. This is beautiful. We're about it's 5 o'clock somewhere. We're about due for a cocktail by the lake. Will they let us do this after the show's over? Can I just go?
Reka Vodka is one of our sponsors.
How about that? Yeah, let's get some Reka vodka. I just want to go. They're going to throw my redneck back end out of here. I just want to go take my shoes off and dip my toes in the water for a little bit. There we go.
I saw what you just did right there. You said my redneck behind up out of here.
I almost said something that I don't think I'm supposed to say.
And
on
here's
the radio,
the thing.
But I don't know.
I took a gander at your sheet over there, and you had circled "Don't cuss."
It is. It's the first thing. The first thing I write down on every show agenda I put together. Don't cuss. Well, football and other F words, we let it fly, man. There's
no doubt.
There's no telling what's going to come out of our mouth.
But you wipe your feet before walking in the door.
Yeah, that's right.
104.5.
That's
okay,
right.
That's real.
That's right. Yeah.
Real.
So we are here. Special thanks to our prize sponsors, by the way, Tennessee Athletics and the Nashville Predators. Like I said, out here for the Zone Golf Classic. We're talking about Titans that could potentially be left behind under this new coaching staff. Ramon, you specifically brought up Jalen Harrell, and that's the thing that is so frustrating may be a bit of an extreme word.
It's a good word to use.
It's frustrating because I watched Jalen Harrell's tape, and I recently just went back and watched his film from the stretch where he was having those sacks and getting those pressures and everything. And you see a guy. You said he works hard.
Yep.
That shows up on tape.
It does.
His feet do not stop moving.
I mean, he's part of that Michigan national championship team.
Yeah.
Like, he knows what it takes, right?
Yeah. I thought he always had his eyes on the play. He always had his eyes on the ball. Yeah. And he was watching for that handoff. He was watching for that pass. Whatever it was, he was focused on the play. Kept his feet moving. I liked his hip sync. I mean, you talk about pad level stuff against some of these tackles. Like, he's a good athlete. You go back to the draft class, he was an 8.42 RAS guy. That's relative athletic score.
Yep.
And like that's a dude that can move. I thought he showed a pretty good long arm move. When you get into kind of the intricacies of a full, robust pass rush toolkit, I don't know that you see a lot of the various moves that you do from some of the
He's
greats.
A rotational guy, but a good one, but can be a good one is what you're getting at.
He can be a really good rotational guy, but you brought up coaches having a type. Coaches having players they want to look a certain way. And that's where you look at, as a defensive end, as an edge rusher, Jalen Harrell's 6'4", 247 pounds.
Yeah.
A little undersized there.
Is he quick twitch the way you need him to be? Or he's a good
I don't know that I would say I would say he's really consistent at the things he does well.
Okay.
I think he's got that long arm move.
Yeah.
He is kind of a guy that work ethic as a superpower.
Yeah, it is.
It's like, man, he's relentless on the field.
But so here's the thing: we as a show aren't saying he can't play.
Exactly.
We as a show are not saying that he's not good.
Right.
We're not saying he doesn't have talent.
Right.
We're just saying coaching changes somewhat might stunt his growth.
And to be clear, here comes the Uncle Bud's truck.
There you go.
All right.
That's your one right there.
Hey, there we go. Uncle Bud, just pull right on up in front of us.
Shout
right
out.
So when it's frustrating as a Titans fan because you watch this guy and you say this can be a good player for this team, but does he do the things that Robert Saleh and Gus Bradley want him to do? And can he win the way that they want him to win? And that's where you kind of get into the mismatch discussion, because it's easy for me to sit here on a microphone and say that's a good player. Like if Jalen Harrell is your fifth guy in the rotation, you got a pretty good rotation.
You do.
And that's a guy, he plays special teams as well. He adds value there. So it's easy for me to sit here and say, you find space for a guy like that. But that's not always the case in NFL rosters.
And he's the master of his own fate. Mm-hmm. Can we just say that real quick, though, too? Because if he goes out and plays these guys that they brought in, this conversation's dead in the water, right?
Exactly.
So, but here's the issue that a new coaching regime does.
Mm-hmm.
The guys that they brought in just 2026, let me know if I'm off on either one of them. Keldrick Falk, new.
Yep.
Jacob Martin, new. Mm-hmm. Jermaine Johnson, new. Mm-hmm. Jordan Elliott, new. Mm-hmm. And Malik Herring, new.
Yeah.
Originally brought in by Borgonzi and Kansas City.
Yeah.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys.
Yeah.
That's 5 dudes.
And they're experienced, too, with the exception of Keldrick Falk. Like, they brought in guys that have played in.
He's the safest guy out there.
Yeah, fair enough. So it does kind of make you wonder, where does he fit into this equation? How, knowing what you know about this style of defense, how could a guy like that maybe he doesn't meet the size requirements or the ideal size for what they want to run. Maybe he doesn't meet those qualifications, but how could he fit into this defense?
But training camp is his only tell.
Yeah.
That's it. And here's the other part, though, too. The physicality, the relentlessness that this defense is going to ask for on each and every play, and also showing that he can evolve from one scheme to the next. Like, Denard Wilson ran an attacking defense for sure. But he's got to pop out on tape for this group. Like, each film session from the coaches, they got to say, who's that again? It was 92. Like, they have to say that each and every time that he's having a rep, man. And all I'm saying is this. It's production. I'm not counting him out. I just know in my days of playing, when guys, if we switch either OCs, and that's the only thing I've really switched, OCs and a little bit of DCs, like, those guys have to conform to what the coaches are looking for. Like, I ain't saying you got to be a teacher's pet. There is none of that in the NFL. Either you are or you aren't.
Yeah.
Stone, it comes down to production. But just looking at the numbers, each one of those guys, I would probably say Malik Herring and Jalen Harrell going to have to fight it out. That's the way I look at it, if he's to survive. Good thing he's got going in his favor. He's a former draft pick of this team.
Yeah. Let me ask you something crazy here. We're just going to get real spicy on a Monday morning out here at Nashville Golf and Athletic Club.
Some guys picked their ball out the water over there. Yep.
Listen, I'm going to be in that water later. Y'all going to have to pick me out of there after some of this Reyka vodka.
I got you.
Let me ask you something crazy then, Ramon. Is it even a possibility that maybe Harrell could have a position switch, maybe play a little linebacker? Or is that going to be too drastic a change from what he's done and demonstrated that he can handle?
I think that's too much right now. The only thing I think he can help himself as far as being a second-level defensive guy is showing that he can drop off in coverage and be in a one-on-one situation. If a running back's in the flats, then he can cover and make the tackle.
And that's one thing. I think he has the straight line speed to get out wide. I think he has the athleticism to move. I don't know. It's hard to get a read on the explosive change of direction stuff because in Denard Wilson's defense, like you said earlier, it's an attacking style. It felt like his responsibility was, there's the quarterback.
Go get him.
Go get him. Get after him. And he's relentless in that. It's impressive tape for a guy that was a 7th-round draft pick that's like hung around this roster, and he's kind of finding his own role. But at the same time, you don't have many examples in a defense like that of him kind of dropping and mirroring a guy. And it's like real man coverage, if you will. Like, you don't have a lot. But I was just curious because, like I said, it's easy for me to say with this microphone, not being on an NFL field, but it feels like you want to find roles for guys like that.
You would, but coaches also unfairly. I feel like this is my first couple of years at UT. You feel like you know that it's against you more than it's for you because they like a certain type. Like, I won't lie to you. Like, I was frustrated with UT in my earlier phases because I knew I was a better grinder. I knew I was a better fighter. Probably wasn't I was a 3-star coming out, and I felt like the guys that I was up against, I was better than. I won most improved like twice at the University of Tennessee in the spring. And it just, in my opinion, never translated over into what I thought until my junior year. Like, it got to the point to where they were and this happens in recruiting, brought in guy after guy after guy after guy. And I said, you know what? I'm going to embarrass each and every one of them. It got so bad in, like, the summer of 07 going into my junior year. Like, I wasn't slated to start there. I was a guy, a freshman, I think they really wanted to go with. But, Stoney, you asked the question, how can Jalen impress? Like, I bodied everybody in my way. Like, I was pancaking defensive linemen. I took one dude from one-on-one drills. We were probably at, like, let's say the 10-yard line.
Yeah.
And I took him all the way to the fence and put him on the fence.
Dang.
Like, I wasn't going to be denied.
Okay, Michael Orr.
No. Like, straight up. Like, I had to, because I'm like, I know you like this 4-star. I know you enjoy him.
Yeah.
But, like, that's where, and I'm getting violent by thinking about this type of stuff, but.
I was about to say, we're going to have to get out in the field somewhere? You're going to have to find something to hit?
Because, like, that's what it takes. Like, I would punch the heck out of somebody right now. Do you hear me? But, like, that's what it takes.
That's what it takes.
To beat what they want as offensive player or defensive players. I'm going to show you exactly what you're missing out on if you don't play, man. That is the beauty of sports, though, as well. But
dang, man, I hope Jalen Harrell's listening this morning.
Listen, that's where I adopted. And when I got in the league as well, it was a similar situation, but I adopted the mindset. And I tell any young competitor now, there's a game between me and you, I'm going to choose me. Mm-hmm. And take this in no offense, but I'm going to step on your neck to get what I want.
Yeah.
Like, that's just what it means.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the way we see Jeff go about putting offensive linemen on their butt in practice, I hate to say it, but screw him.
You got to.
Stop it.
You got to.
Like, that's the 1% that you're looking for when we speak about the best of the best. And for a guy, that's the only reason I like this topic is because I've seen this situation happen either to me or to others like that, where you're saying to yourself, dang, you don't recognize that guy over there? Like, there's some dogs out there, and Jalen Harrell might, if he don't make this roster, he'll pick up somewhere else because he do possess some good stuff.
Who else is on this list for you?
Man, I got a good short. Dane Martin Robinson, and I think it's just because of the guys they've brought in. Kyler Granson, 6-year vet, been in the league for a while. Mm-hmm. Daniel Bellinger signed a nice deal, $8 million a year.
Kind of sturdier guys, too.
Exactly. Joel Wilson, who's been in the league since 2023. He's here. And then you also look at Jaron Canick, who's new to the team this year. I'm not sure he plays a similar role as Dayton Martin Robinson, but he's, I think, got some wiggle to his game. And then, of course, we ain't even mentioned Gunnar Helm.
Right.
But, again, David Martin Robinson's a part of the old regime. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying he can't make the team or won't make the team, but look at the new bodies just that they've brought in this year.
He's kind of a different mold from those guys.
He's in a different mold. And then they handpicked these guys to come inside of the building, including Jaron Canick. And then the last one, of course, is Will Levis.
What do you think about Jaron Canick? Do you think he's going to actually play tight end, or do you think they're going to kind of use him more as a fullback?
I see him like, I've said this at practice, and I had a lot of people nod their head. He reminds me of Kyle Juszczyk.
There we go.
I thought he was that
I love to hear that.
When you look at his Oklahoma tape against the Vols, skating behind the line of scrimmage, catching balls out of the flat. He's got a lot of wiggle to his game. He can catch out the backfield. He can catch it on an angle route. He can be a mismatch to linebackers. And I think he's got an affinity for being physical.
Man, they would line him up out wide at Oklahoma, and like he would be the screen.
You know what I'm saying?
like they put 3 wide receivers out there. One of them is Jaron Canick. He can block whoever's coming his way.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
so, and that's not David Martin Robinson, to your point. But I do wonder in that tight end room, who of these guys, who's going to be the one that adds that element of fireworks to it? Who's going to be the explosive, the dynamic guy? I mean, are they counting on Gunnar Helm to be that guy consistently, or is this an offense, in your opinion, that you don't even need that guy at the tight end position?
I think you need him. You talking about the Canick side of it or Gunnar?
DMR, actually.
DMR.
Yeah.
He falls into a who's in front of him type of scenario. And tight end numbers are just never big on active rosters.
Yeah.
He can probably, stay around as far as practice squad goes, but he's just got to find ways to reinvent himself. They look to me as if they're going for the long, rangy, wide receiver, blocking tight end type of guy, if that makes sense to you. Like, blocking is a part of your main game, but you better be able to catch the ball out of it, though, too. Mm-hmm. He's got some wiggle and got some explosiveness to his game. David Martin Robinson does. But it's a crowded room right now.
Yeah. So something just crossed my mind as we're having this conversation. We are talking about players that if you look at the numbers right now, they're like, what, 4th, 5th, 6th at their position?
Facts.
It's a good problem to have guys.
That's competition.
Like Jalen Harrell and David Martin Robinson on the back end of your roster. These are guys that Jalen Harrell's made plays in games. David Martin Robinson lit up the preseason. He's made a couple plays in meaningful action. So, like, we're getting to a state of this rebuild where the Titans do have some guys on the back end of this roster that are going to
best thing, the state of this rebuild.
Yeah, they've got some guys on the back end of this roster that could provide quality depth and really push some of these guys this summer. You mentioned Will Levis in there.
Yeah.
I want to get to him. But it looks like we might be coming up on a break here pretty close.
We can get him after the break if you want to.
We'll get Will Levis after the break here. We are live at Nashville Golf and Athletic Club for 104.5 The Zone's 2026 Golf Classic. Stoney Keeley filling in for Will Bowling this morning. This is Ramon and Will, and we'll be right back.
Okay.
Back here wrapping up Ramon and Will on 104.5 The Zone. Stoney Keeley filling in for Will Bowling this morning. We are out here at the Nashville Golf and Athletic Club for 104.5 The Zone's 2026 Golf Classic presented by Ferguson. Special thanks to our prize sponsors, Live Nation and Club Champion, on this fine Monday morning in Middle Tennessee. We're out here in beautiful Brentwood. It's been a fantastic morning, and we're going to wrap up this conversation talking about Will Levis, but I do just want to take a moment to thank you, Ramon. Thank you, Justin, for having me on and allowing me to talk in a microphone to a bunch of people in Middle Tennessee.
No doubt, man.
I want to give a shout out to Kroll back in the studio as well. He's hooked us up. He's had our back this morning. Thank you, guys. This has been a ton of fun, but we've got a plane to land.
We do.
So let's talk about the last guy on your list, Ramon, the players that could be left behind under this coaching change with this new coaching staff. Will Levis.
Yep.
What is it about his situation that has him on this list for you?
First of all, shout out to my high school football coach, Coach Mac Adams. He's listening to us right now. When I was giving you that spiel about stepping on necks, he sent me a listener this morning, Gator. You know what Gator ball mean? Get after that, you know what? Okay, but get after that, you know what, baby? Gator ball, baby, not Florida, that is. But Levis makes the list for me for obvious reasons in general, man. Just in 4 years technically. This is fourth?
This is year four.
This is year four.
Yeah.
So in this past 3 years, 21 starts. Every game he's been in, he started, though. Give him that. And games, 61% completion percentage, 21 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. He's got one game-winning drive, 240 rushing yards, 17 fumbles.
Yep.
Those are 2 years of stats, though, considering he missed all of 2025 because of the shoulder injury, shoulder surgery that he had to have as well. But here's the thing. New guys in his position. I'm counting Cam because Cam is a part of this, how small the room is.
Well, yeah, I mean, he takes up a spot.
He takes up a spot.
You know,
he's like, the spot.
He's the spot, yeah. There ain't no question about that, whether or not he's going to be on this roster.
He is, and it's just the understanding of where you are. New guys. Mr. Trubisky, savvy vet.
Yeah.
Guy signed, Chase, look at the money.
That box.
Right? And then Hendon Hooker. Project for sure.
Same draft class.
Draft classes, Levis. Same conferences, Levis. Same battles as Levis.
Yeah.
But camp is where this got to be figured out. And the only reason I bring it up is, like, Will's got to be in position. Or here he is. He's got the new Charger, man. Uncle Bob. But Will's in a position where there's been so much that we've spoken about and so much that he hasn't done yet. And I think he watched his opportunities slip through his hands here. With this new coaching staff, with the commentary that we heard last year, Brian Dable wanting Cam Ward.
Yeah.
Check. Yeah. Then he brings in his own guy, Mr. Trubisky. Check. That third quarterback spot is kind of hard to imagine it going to the former starter on said team.
Yeah.
And that's where the new coaching staff, I think, plays a part.
Does it say anything to you, the fact that they went out early in this offseason and secured Hendon Hooker? Because to me, that feels like the prototypical third quarterback spot where he's still young enough that he can be a developmental guy, but he's in this scheme, this system early enough in the offseason to where that just feels like a pretty solid spot to me. And that does leave Will Levis as the odd man out in this conversation.
It really does. And that's kind of just where it's at, too. We'll see what training camp looks about. And here's the other part, though, too. There's really no room for the third quarterback on the roster.
Yeah.
It just isn't. You become the practice squad mock guy, meaning if the Titans are going against the Texans, the third guy got to be C.J. Stroud.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, if you're going against the Jacksonville Jaguars, then you need to be Trevor Lawrence those days. Like, Mr. Trubisky will be a part of that because I do think he's QB too. But his role is to be in support, be second
I was about to say, that is the prototypical – that's the guy that has been there and done that. He's had his own journey in the NFL. He kind of knows the ropes. He has familiarity with Brian Dable, but he's not going to go out there and steal the job from Cam Ward. Like, there's no question who the starting quarterback is for this team, whereas in years past we were kind of sold, well, it's going to be Ward, it's going to be Levis, it's going to be a real competition, that sort of deal. Like, that's why I go back to this idea that this kind of feels like a pretty solid defined room where it is you've got your starter in Cam Ward, you've got your highly capable backup in Mitch Trubisky behind him, and then you've still got room for the Hendon Hooker that you can kind of develop and see what he can turn into. Maybe he can become that backup one day. What is Will Levis to this coaching staff? Now, I will say, Ramon, there is quite the fun conspiracy theory out there if you want to get your tinfoil hat on.
Come on, man.
As we close this show out. People reading into some comments that Brian Dable has made about wanting to still work with Will Levis, to want to develop him. And the idea, this is how it's being spun, is that when Brian Dable does such a stellar job here, he's going to get a head coaching job. He's going to want to bring in his quarterback. Wow. Can Will Levis be that guy? Or is this a situation where it's just, let's call it over with Will Levis?
I think you call it over. Well, I don't want to ever count a player out.
Fair enough. But
looking in these situations, if Will Levis is in the backfield at quarterback, is he's doing this for a backup role or a starter role? He's trying to be a starter, in my opinion. He's tasted it. Mm-hmm. He understands what it is.
He's got the talent, too.
And that's the thing about Mr. Trubisky that makes most sense. Like, Mitch has lived this life, and he's in it, settled in part. Like, I do think the backup quarterback, not that you don't want a high-caliber one, but they need to be non-threatening to the end goals of your franchise quarterback.
There we go. We'll save the James Williams discourse for Thursday. How about that, big dog?
I'm here for it.
All right, let's do it. Appreciate you guys for tuning in this morning from the Nashville Golf and Athletic Club for the Zones Golf Classic presented by Ferguson. I'm Stoney Keeley. Talk to y'all again on Thursday morning.
But remember, your Twitter fingers and your mic is always hot. How you doing? Hey, man. That's